Well, we've grown to weep nitty bong, my fellow addicts. This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, coming to you with a TFTC. We are on episode 69. Ha ha ha. And I have my recurring guest and good buddy Cyborg Raptor with me. Go ahead and say hello, my friend.
Hello, it's me, co-admin, Matt or Cybergraptor.
Also, apologies if you hear anything in the background. I'm cleaning up my floor because I had a package today from a TFA unboxing. So because the way things were trying to work out, unfortunately, Cyborg can no longer host TFTC, so I am back to hosting. And that means I'm going to have to go to and from my room to the living room to turn on the laptop, or not the laptop, the PC, to turn on the streams and shut them down. So there's going to be some intervals of silence at the very beginning, at the very end of these streams from now on, and I'll try and edit that out if I can. But TFTCs are back. They always have been. We're just trying to do at least once a month because I feel like we did way too many in the past. So I now, instead of 10-minute intervals of trying to join, you guys want to have 15 minutes just because the way things have been. It'll give you guys a little more time, but as I said before, if you join, please contribute to the chat in some way, shape, or form. If someone else is talking, please be respectful, be courteous and kind to that person. Let them say their piece. But do not come in here and just stay here for, a few minutes or an hour on end and say nothing. I'm not having that. I'm sorry if it seems a little strict, but new year, new rules. We're going to try and be a little bit more professional this year. So please understand. Nothing against you. Just please contribute. I will send links, or I will actually just add you guys directly. So let me go ahead and take care of that. Transformers Productions, you want in? Well, you got it. And if any of you cannot find me on Google Hangouts, I don't know what to tell you. I just say search up TFA 1024, see what happens. And if that doesn't work, then I apologize. But like I said, there are going to be intervals of silence at the very beginning and the end. So be patient with me. And we're going to try and do this to the best of our ability. Which I'm pretty sure is possible. So I'll give you guys about 10 to 15 minutes to join, contribute to the chat, and so on and so forth. And let's just have some fun tonight. Because tomorrow you get a brand new video starting off the new month.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's already prepped and ready. Like I had it ready for a week now. I'm actually really proud of that because it's the first time I did that.
Huh.
I might do what Thew does. Like he puts up his video on Patreon like literally a day before its official release. I might do that.
Oh, like
Like a week was too much. I'm not sure, but
do you have a Patreon? Like, is it officially a thing?
what the TFA
Like,
previews?
I guess yeah. I mean, I guess like because do you have a following now?
I got one patron.
Oh, sure.
I actually got $1 from somebody, and I was actually really happy about that. Transformers Productions, hello.
At least it's a start, man.
No, I mean I'm
Yeah.
happy. Like first patron ever. It's like, hey, new year. It's great. Starting off well.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit of a warning. When I mute myself for like maybe like just 1 minute or a second, just know it's probably just my family coming in to talk with me.
That's fine. Just like I said, you're safe as long as you contribute to the conversation in some way, shape, or form.
All right. If it takes too long, I'll just like type in the chat until they're
Yeah,
done.
and you're welcome to come back. Obviously, like I'm
Yeah.
not just gonna kick you out of the stream for the rest of the night, but it will if it is a continuous process, or a continuous problem. If I can fucking talk, then yeah, that might be it for the night because I'm not gonna join. I'm not gonna have people join midstream. So, like
All
I
right.
said, you guys got about 10 to 15 minutes. We're about 4 minutes now, so you guys have about 11 minutes. I'm gonna turn off my air because it's fucking cold. And I think I'm cold because I'm sick. So we have 4 people watching. Hello, Primus Productions. How are you doing? So yeah, I guess we can just talk about like regular everyday stuff. Just just fill in
Any
the
good
time.
hauls? I know you're already on an Energon binge. Any good hauls?
Wait, aside from Energon,
Uh, I guess since I don't know if everyone on YouTube follows you on Instagram. Like I'd say, go with the best of your Energon haul, and then maybe something from recently.
Well, the only recent thing I got was War for Cybertron Siege Hound, and that guy he's beautiful. I love him. Um, I got bots, tons and tons of bot. Oh yeah, Cyborg, I forgot to message you about this. I got Totes Magoats.
Oh yeah, Totes
I
my
actually
goats.
got Totes
What a great
Magoats.
name.
My
So
card doesn't have
I
any
was gonna
siege
message you and be
figures.
like, "Hey, guess what I got?" and just send a little tote bag.
Good.
He's fun. He's like he's like this big beefy dude with like giant arms and then tiny little legs. He's great.
That G1 Optimus is overpriced.
I think it's justified, honestly.
I
I
want the
really do.
trailer.
I
I could
don't
care
like.
less.
I'm torn. Like I would love to have a G1 Optimus, but I agree that price is a bit like it's nasty. So I don't know. I will have to wait and see if when I see one, and I'll see where my wallet is, because I do plan on getting that G1 Optimus. It's just depending on when.
Right.
Because
Oh
no
yeah,
one's going to buy that. I think what's going to happen is that Walmart's will eventually bring it down the price because no one's going to spend $50 on that tiny truck. So kind of like how I got Starscream. I got my recent haul was G1 Starscream, and I picked him up for $10 less because he was on clearance. And I really like this G1 Starscream. So I'm hoping to do the same with that and Soundwave.
actually, that's the thing I was about to mention. For any of you boyos wanting to get a G1 Hot Rod, they're $7 in the clearance aisle.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I
But
saw one at my Walmart for like 15, so that's as low as they're going. I
too
don't
bad
know.
Hot Rod's not like really like people want the original Transformers. If they want G1, they want the first G1. So no one's gonna pick up Hot
Yeah,
Rod.
no, I have the first G1 reissue of not the new one, the old one. I actually have the commemorative one.
Ah,
I got it from Craigslist for like $45 because it's like I want a G1 Hot Rod because I don't have a Hot Rod in my collection. And I'm now looking at my G1 stuff aside from maybe like Trypticon, Metroplex, and maybe the Throttlebots, and I'm just like I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Like I want to sell it because I'm pretty sure those could go for some good money. But at the same time, it's like it's nostalgia. It's like I never grew up with it, but that was pretty much like the beginning of Transformers, and I'm not sure what I want to do with my G1 stuff.
right. Speaking of
Did
G1,
you
was it they just announced the reissues of all the cassettes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Frenzy, Rumble, Laserbeak, and Ravage. I'm
yeah, that
pretty
make
happy about that.
Soundwave buyers a lot like more happier. So you don't have to just have Buzzsaw. You get the whole gang.
got to what
Yeah,
though?
I'm pretty happy with that.
The Lazy Abra reviewer is back, and I am super hype.
I'm happy, but I'm not calling it a comeback yet. I need to wait until I see, I need to wait. I need to actually watch that video about the whole thing because he made something last night. He's been making a lot of videos recently. Like, he's just been pumping them out.
Got to what the ridiculous thing is that he had a poll on YouTube where like there were four options and it was just all the same, like, oh, do you want me to come back or not? First option was anything less than what you were doing was unacceptable. Then there's at least six reviews a year would be swelled. Then there's like just stay dead man, and there's one that he took way too literal, where he said just do the hokey pokey for all I care, just come back, and everyone voted for the hokey pokey one. Then he actually did a hokey pokey video with his kids.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was cute.
His that daughter
Hello,
was like,
holy shit! I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. I'm only getting contact from like 2 people. There's 7 of you. Say hello. Don't be shy.
don't be shy, please.
But yeah, that was the most recent thing I got were like bots and Siege Hound, which I was having such a hard time finding the deluxes in retail, and then my local Walmart decided, while the whole car fiasco was going on, it's like, hey, we know you're having a bad day. Here's some new figures on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, well then. So I picked up Hound. I love him. He's good, but he does not beat Sideswipe. I love Sideswipe so much more. And I got a shit ton of Energon stuff. Like, this month has been nothing but Transformers Energon. Lovely Lady Addictress, if you're watching, thank you for all this, sweetheart. Hooked me up with Optimus, Wing Saber, the repaint of Cliff Jumper into Beachcomber, the regular Cliff Jumper, the regular landmine that I just got today, the regular Ironhide. She hooked me up with the repaint of Jetfire, aka Overcast, which is Energon Jetfire. She hooked me up with Roadblock, and she also hooked me up with the Energon Armada design Demolisher and Cyclonus.
Oh.
And I think that was it. But yeah, and then Eli Thanatos Prime hooked me up with Omega Supreme, Shock Blast, Scorponok, and Mirage. And then I bought everything else. So I have Power Links Hotshot, or not Power Links, Energon Hotshot, Downshift, Bulkhead, Landquake. I got Rodimus's parts, so he's fully complete now. Marvels gave me Prowl, and I'm trying to think.
There was an Energon Prowl.
I got Energon, Ironhide, and I think that was it. So I have all the Autobots and the Decepticons from the show, except for like Starscream and Galvatron. Oh, I also have Six Shot and Snowcat and the Dump Truck Demolisher now. So I'm happy about that.
Finding that Galvatron complete is hard.
Dude, I have checked eBay. That thing goes for like over $100. It's so dumb. I found one listing, but it's like 14. It's on a bid, and it's 14 plus like I think 12. And it doesn't have the horns. It doesn't have the cannon to his tank drone. He doesn't have the sword, and it's just like I would have a very difficult time trying to find those parts. So I'm not going to even attempt. I did find one on eBay for like $80, but he's just missing a sword.
Bids are like hard to win. I tried winning 5.
So I mean, I'm gonna keep looking for a Galvatron. If I found a Six Shot for like $30, I'll find a Galvatron. I just have to wait. But all I need are the Omnicons, the Terracons. I have an Energon Starscream on the way from a friend of mine, but she hasn't shipped it out yet. I have his parts as well. So I have his missiles, I have his sword, I have his gun. He's going to be complete, which I'm really happy about. I also got a new Energon Starscream because mine was missing a heel spur and his weapons. And I think that's it. I just need Strong Arm, Sky Blast. Oh, I forgot. Eli hooked me up with Signal Flare as well. I need Dive Bomb, Command Ravage, Battle Ravage. I have an Insecticon, and I need Cruel Lock. And I might go after Alpha Q, but I don't really need them. And I got Unicron, so there you.
Alpha Q had a figure?
Yeah, I used to have it as a kid.
Yeah, I've ever seen one at a toy collector's market once. Really weird looking.
I feel like Alpha Q is like he was a big, well, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I feel like he was kind of a big part of the series, but at the same time, it's just like he's only there. He
was like somewhat the quote unquote the main antagonist of like the first few episodes, right? He was one of the leaders.
Yeah, and then until Megatron showed up, he's like, "Oh, well, I'm the bad guy." But I don't know. I don't feel like I need his figure. Like, if I want to, maybe one day I'll get it, but not now. I have no.
Isn't Alpha Q a Quintesson? That's one thing I remember about him is that he looks like a Quintesson.
Yeah, he looks like he's totally based off.
That's what I like. That was like a really nice homage to G1, which I really did appreciate. Same with Inferno. Freaking Ironhide, after he gets his new armor, he reminded me a lot of Hound, so I was like really happy about that. And then Bulkhead. I mean, our first ever Bulkhead. I just like him. He's a crazy old man. He's like the Autobot equivalent of Cyclonus, except he's funny or funnier.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys got 2 minutes. Just want to let you guys know that you can join. You have to message me though. Just shoot me once.
When it comes to parts, the only thing I'm looking for, and I can buy it, I'm lazy. I just want G1 Grimlock's sword. All I want.
Have you tried Facebook part groups?
Hey, it's toys.
I just go on eBay. They're all like it's all like $10 or $8. I'm just too lazy to order them. I'm stingy.
So I'm pretty sure you could try a Facebook group and you'll find a sword for a good price. I guarantee you.
Probably.
Also, hello to Lemonhead. Hello to TF Stop Motionator Productions. It's the second time I've seen you on here now. Hello Archivist, and hello anyone else who joins.
My friend Hoist is in the chat.
And yes, actually joined the hangout, but unfortunately, Your time's about to be up unless you message me within like the next 6 seconds. So, yeah, time's already up. Sorry, guys. That's
We stay
All right.
silent. We stay silent for the 6 seconds.
well done. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I feel bad about that actually, but the show must go on. So we got a beautiful show for you tonight. We're gonna be talking about the 2018 Transformers Bumblebee movie. The good, the bad, the ugly, the Bay-esque, all that fun stuff. We're also gonna be talking about the brand new movie masterpieces that were revealed last Saturday. That they were huge. Like people were flipping the fuck out over these things, and I was one of the many because I've been waiting so long for one of the figures, and I look forward to actually trying to obtain that if it makes it to U.S. retail. I doubt it's just gonna be in U.S. retail. Like watch it be on Big Bad Toy Store or something, which I kind of hope not, but whatever. So
We lost
you
Toys
guys
R
have a
Us,
schedule for
so
these streams? No, we just try and do them once a month between. Well, we try and do them once a month, or we do them once a month, but the time varies, so it'll be anywhere from like 5 p.m., 7 p.m., or even later in the night. But you guys can always join the live chat. We'll acknowledge you as soon as we can.
Lemonhead is a bro of mine. He's good.
Lemonhead, that sounds like the guy from the Adventures time.
Oh, so Bumblebee.
Yeah, so I'm going to kick it off first because I believe I was the only one who actually saw it early. Correct me if I'm wrong. Cyborg, did you see it early?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Transformers Productions, did you see it early?
No.
Damn. Well then, Cyborg, I guess you and I will collab on this one because
Okay.
we both saw it early. So for those of you who were fortunate enough, Bumblebee did come out on December 8th, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It came out
Yeah.
December 8th. It was 2 weeks early because it came out December 21st. Is that right?
Yeah.
It was 8th. Okay, just want to make sure. So it was a special early screening at participating theaters, AMC, Cinemark's theaters, or if you were lucky enough and your local theater was playing it, you could buy tickets on Fandango. I was lucky enough to go with my mother, my father, my buddy Caleb, aka the Night Gamer, and my very good buddy David from high school. And we all went and saw it. We barely made it because David had to go buy snacks because his sugar was low because he didn't eat anything before we left because he's diabetic. So we almost missed it, but we made it to our seats. We thought we got in the wrong seats though because there were 2 rows and they were the same numbers. So we kind of went up further ahead, but I think we were supposed to be back, but no one said anything. So it's like, okay. So we made it. The thing was about to start. We were already like taking place in spoilers to anyone who hasn't seen Bumblebee already. But come on, what are you waiting for? It's been a month. And it started off with like that one logo that was like taking you into space, and immediately I'm already thinking, okay, this is going to be kind of like Transformers Prime Beast Hunters, or Predacons Rising, where it's going to be like it's going to take you through space down to Earth or whatever. And no, that wasn't the case. It was just a studio logo. So I'm like, okay. So I was just going to start off. The next thing I hear is like dun 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 dun. Cybertron. It looks so beautiful. Like we've seen Cybertron in 2007. We've seen Cybertron in Dark of the Moon, and we've seen Cybertron in Transformers: The Last Night. But this is the Cybertron that we all wanted to see.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
And you see Seekers flying past, and bombing buildings and dudes and everything, and it cuts to. Very interestingly enough, Ratchet, of all people, who start off the show. It's like, hey, he's here. He says a line. He's firing a gun that looks very much like Optimus's ion blaster. You see Ironhide behind him, and then you also cut to... You cut to a very quick cut of RC standing next to Brawn and Cliffjumper, but you also see an Autobot with a car chest and a visor, and I want to say that's Jazz. I don't think that's just some trooper. I think that is actually Jazz, because he's a white Autobot with a blue visor with a car chest. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cyborg, or argue with me if you want to.
I would say that if there is like, well, I don't even like notice that kind of thing. If it was something like that quick, and they wouldn't, if it was Jazz, they wouldn't have just passed him by. I think all Autobots that we don't see that like if they don't have a screen time, they are just some Gennaro bot.
See, I want to say that, but at the same time, Travis Knight did say, there are going to be a lot of like blink and you'll miss it moments in a lot of G1 cameos. But I'm going to stay true. I'm going to say that's Jazz. Like, that's just me. I am definitely going to say that's Jazz because he had the essentials. He had the car chest, he had the blue visor, and he had the black head.
Can I say that?
And then,
can I say that?
Go ahead.
Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to say that I think I spotted Prowl, but it's in a later shot.
Wait, who?
I think I spotted Prowl in the background.
You sure?
It was very blurry. There are HD scenes out on YouTube already of the movie, and I was watching them with my online friend. And while we were talking, remember the scene where like Bumblebee like says, "Oh, sorry, I'm late, traffic girl," blah 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 blah. That shot.
Oh yeah.
And you look in the background, like here's the thing, I think it's Prowl, but I'm not 100% sure because it's the back of that Autobot, and he has like black heat, and he has the wings, and I even see like the head crest. I didn't know what color it was, but I think that was Prowl, or it's probably just like a small little cameo, or like a Prowl
I wouldn't be
lookalike.
surprised if probably either Ratchet too, because he was also behind Optimus, so it's possible it might have been him. I don't know. Prowl would have been cool though. So back to what I was saying. We cut to these other characters. We see Braun in the movieverse finally. Like he finally makes it. I honestly kind of liked his Nescoba Alliance toy design though, because I thought that was more realistic. But they're on Cybertron, so everything looks G1. Literally everything looks G1. And I loved Braun. Like seeing him on the big screen made me so happy because like Braun is such an underrated character. Like a lot of people like. You say whoever Braun is, and they're like, who's that guy? But he's just really cool. He's like this tough go-getter type dude, and I love him. But what shocked me the most was like we see RC, and she looks cool except for her face because she has those panels. And it just looks weird. But I was not expecting her to speak. And ironically, she's voiced by the same person who did RC in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, Grey Delisle. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Hey.
And then we cut to Wheeljack, and then he speaks, and I'm like, okay, who is this, and what's going on? And I didn't know who Wheeljack was at the time, but then I saw the credits, and I saw it was Steve Bloom, and I'm like, oh,
really?
He's in this now.
Steve Bloom?
Yeah, no, he sounds great as Wheeljack. Like, I would love Steve Bloom to be Wheeljack in a series one day. So I am like, I would love that so much. Also, hello, I do not know how to say that. Dakatron, Magnus 14, and Megatron Productions 14666.
All my friends followed me.
Aw. So it was really cool to hear Grey Delisle and Steve Bloom in this movie. We also hear Braun talk. He says something like, "Stand fast," and then he gets shot in the shoulder like he does in 86, and I'm just like, I see what they did there.
Is it bad that I laughed when that happened? I mean, it was so comedic in my eyes.
I kind of laughed a little bit too. I'm like, oh, but I'm also more like, oh, I hope he's okay. But, but something to point out very interesting before that. There's an Autobot that gets blown back before Braun says that line. And Cyborg and I talked about this, and he doesn't agree with me. And that's fine. But he's orange and blue. I think that was Huffer.
Oh.
And I think that would have been a very nice homage to G1 just because in the second episode of Generation 1, Braun and Huffer kind of share a moment where Huffer has his arm caught in some girding and Braun has to come over and free his arm. And I'm just like, okay, that's fun. But I think that was honestly Huffer. And if it was, I'm going to be super happy. Because that would have been cool. Again, Huffer's also an underrated character.
Which, I'm looking at these scenes right now, and all the characters in the background, all the Autobots are unnamed. They all, because what is this? Red Goblin, a popular Transformers fan on the news sites. You mentioned that all these are just they're Ironhides, just with different colors. And watching these again, especially with a laptop now instead of a phone, I can totally back it up because there's a shot of Ratchet. The first shot you see Ratchet where he's talking and shooting, right, like a quick, behind him and behind Ironhide, there is a kind of a bronze soldier, but he has the Ironhide helmet, and then the character you're seeing as Jazz is it goes by so fast that it makes the lights look like they're a visor, but it's just eyes because it's just a scene tracking really quickly to the next shot. So I'm and also like thing like there's a really good shot of a Autobot's back, and it has the same paneling of the shoulders for Ratchet and Ironhide. So my guess that these are all just this is just my thing once again. You all want to believe they're all actual Autobots? Go ahead, but I think just for budget wise, and also it's nothing like we've seen before. We've seen movies copy soldiers all the time, but I think
No,
these
the
are
protoform soldiers are a pretty good example of that. The KSI soldiers too.
exactly. And
I
if
don't know
anything, it's if
if
these
they
are
are
just and
just
also just to mention that these are if these are Ironhides, this is not just a not a reference or anything. It's not like it's just like this. It's just kind of funny that it's just that for this movie, all the soldiers for the Decepticons are Seekers, and if these are all the Ironhide clones, it's just kind of like Cyberverse. That's this similar thing of all the armies are Seekers, and all the armies are just regular like Ironhide as characters, like it was in Cyberverse.
I'd be fine with that, but honestly, even if they are just genericons, I appreciate the homage of the colors of other characters, like the orange and the blue guy, the jazz looking dude. Like I'd be fine with even just that.
Can I just say though, I'm looking at. I could see what you're thinking about Cyborg Raptor. Although I don't know how to say your I don't know how to shorten your name, so I'm just gonna call you that. Um, Even though, yeah, I can see that all of them are just like kind of have Ironhide's helmet and the shoulder pads, but even so, like a lot of them are kind of look like Ironhide, but at the same time, they all look different in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually one thing I really appreciate. Which is one thing I kind of hated about the first trilogy. I don't hate the first trilogy, but one thing I hated was just the copy and pasted proto forms for both Autobots and Decepticons. I'm actually glad that like the design team actually put effort into it and kind of made all their made their generics have their own like unique colors and designs and crap.
Honestly, that could have also been an homage to Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 because all the Viacons that were shown up in the second season were all like rainbow colored. They looked like Skittles. So I mean, it's a stretch, but this movie does also appeal to many other like different parts of the Transformers lore and the universe in general. Like this thing homages more than just G1. So, but yeah, we were talking about the Autobots, and yeah, so Braun is like he went down, he got shot in the shoulder, just like 86. It was a funny moment, but also kind of like, oh, hope he's okay. Which he is, but we'll get into that later. We cut to a very cool close up of the Decepticon Seekers, and one of them talks. I think it's voiced by the same dude who does Braun. I could be wrong about that. I did see that there was one name with like two different characters. And they look cool. The Seekers actually look really menacing. Very, like, they mean business. And another thing I also like is, like, the Autobots shoot orange lasers. The Decepticons shoot... I know someone says they're blue, but I want to believe they're purple. But if they're blue, okay. So I thought that was cool. And then they get shot, and we're like, oh, no, who was that? Who did this? And it was Optimus, and he comes running in. He does the classic 86 jump, which I'm like, more movie references from the 86 movie. And he lands and he starts, taking out cons, helping out his Autobots, and asks, "Where's B-127?" And for a minute, all of us are kind of like wondering,
He okay?
Unless you haven't seen this, unless you've seen the trailers, but like, who's B-127? And then this had to be an intentional homage to the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron game, because you see Bumblebee rolling up in his Cybertronian vehicle mode, taking out some Decepticon Seekers. Like, he just bashes into two of them in his vehicle mode, transforms, takes out a purple one who I want to say is Skywarp, but I also don't because I like Skywarp. Kicks, like, pretty much like drop kicks him as they fall down. His head gets crunched off, and he just kicks it like a soccer ball into another Decepticon Seeker. And I'm just like, okay. That
also, I'd like to point out that the gun that quote unquote the Skywarp character the gun he's using is a Hound's minigun from last night. It's a little fun thing I found.
Oh yeah, he does.
Can I just say though, I cannot tell who I can't tell. I'm a try and censor myself, but if this was uncensored, I would. You know what? Never mind. But I cannot tell for the life of me if Skywarp is in this film or not because he's my favorite Seeker. But holy crap, is there so many purple Seekers?
I feel like that's also kind of an homage to Transformers Prime with all like the air Viacons.
Yeah, I think for sure. Like, I think they're just the secrets that we're seeing here are all just like let's pick the most popular color secrets are and just spread them out. There's like
Except for a couple. There were a couple in there that were actually confirmed as
Yeah.
characters. Also, hello, Nacho Prime, or I'm sorry, XX Nacho Prime 69XX. How are you doing? Angel Moon 502. Hello. I think you're new. Yeah, they're talking about okay. Yeah, I kind of wish there were more Decepticons too, but we'll get into that in a bit. So, where was I? Oh yeah, he does the classic, superhero type thing where it's like, sorry I'm late, hit a little traffic, and I'm like, ha ha, superhero thing, it's whatever. And Optimus is like, he's pretty big. I'm still not crazy about his design, mainly his legs, because it's just like they're too long. They're too long and they're too skinny, and they look weird. Bumblebee looks really cool though. I actually do enjoy him, his design and his voice. Dylan O'Brien, he did a great job in some parts. I'm not 100% convinced that he's the best Bumblebee voice actor for the movieverse ever. Like, I prefer Mark Ryan. That's just me. So then we hear somebody in the background yelling, "Get back! Incoming!" And then we hear like a sound wave drops on the screen. He sounds cool. He talks. He's voiced by John Bailey, which if you guys haven't already, go check out my interview with him. It was a lot of fun. So it cuts to him. He talks. Sorry, I'm trying to acknowledge comments as well. He talks. He sounds very Generation 1. Like, I almost thought for a minute it was Frank Welker. Like, please tell me I'm not the only one here. Like, did anyone else get that? Or was that just me?
yeah, it could have fooled me.
What? I'm looking
I
at the
cut out?
comments. I'm looking at the comments. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I said, was that just me, or did that sound like Frank Welker without our knowledge of him being John Bailey?
That the first time I seen the movie, like I knew John Bailey was going to voice someone, but I just didn't know it was going to be Soundwave and Shockwave. I was convinced that was Frank Welker.
I didn't know John Bailey was going to be in the film at all, so it's just like, oh my god, they got Frank Welker, and he sounds great. It's just like, oh, G1. Soundwave design still kind of makes me look. It still makes me think he looks a little off. Like, his thighs are too thick, his arms are too short, his chest is too bulbous. It just looks weird. But they're alien robots from a different planet, so I'm not going to judge because that's racist.
That's robotist.
We get a beautiful close up of Starscream. That made me fanboy so bad. Like, I love Starscream. I love the Michael Bay movieverse design of Starscream. But seeing Starscream in the movieverse in G1 colors, looking very reminiscent of Generation 1, I never knew that was something I needed. But he looked so cool. He had the black head, he had the red optics, he had the nice colors. He just looked really freaking cool. And now people can finally shut up and be like, hey, Starscream is in the film as well as Blitzwing, so stop your whining. So I was really happy about that. And then we get a beautiful close-up of Shockwave, and he looks beautiful. He looks amazing. Shockwave. That's how Shockwave should have been. But I did like Dark of the Moon Shockwave because he looked a lot more menacing and brutal, and
Bumblebee
he looked like he was
Shockwave.
ready to kill some people.
Bumblebee
He
Shockwave
always
is
looked angry, too. I loved that. Because Shockwave never shows emotion, but he looked like he was pissed all the time. And then we have, Decepticons attack, and then Autobots fall back. Optimus and the others are running in. And we see Brawn. Brawn's fine. He's running. Then we hear Shockwave speak, and I thought for a split second that was Corey Burton. But again, to my surprise, after seeing the credits, John Bailey. Again. So this dude managed to not only just score one of his favorite Transformers characters of all time, but he scored both of them, Shockwave and Soundwave, and I'm super happy for him for that. That's awesome. So, it's just my preference on the whole thing. I'm really happy that, it would have been nice to hear Corey Burton again, but he's done with Transformers. He wanted to move on from more, silly to serious stuff, and it's like, okay, you will be missed. Thank you for Transformers Animated.
Can I just say though, I actually love that scene with Soundwave and Decepticons. Like that shot with all the Decepticons standing there was just so menacing. And can I just say though, I'm gonna have to throw shade at the Michael Bay films for a bit, but I swear to God, this will be probably one of the only times I'll do it. But to me, the Michael Bay bots didn't convey emotions to me enough. But the Travis Knight Transformers actually conveyed emotions mostly through their eyes. Like when Soundwave said Decepticons attack, you saw Optimus and you could tell in his eyes that he was scared.
Yeah, I like that. That was a nice little touch. I wasn't honestly expecting to see so much emotion from Prime because it's like that's something we're not really close to. Also, sorry, I'm transforming Energon Jetfire.
Yeah, I'll
That's
agree with
something.
I'll agree with Transformers Productions because from like the past films, the last night tried fixing this, but other than that, the first three, they're all the Decepticons were just these groveling monsters that look like they're just cavemen intellect, and they're just like tribal beings,
Me
but
Decepticon, me evil.
yeah, they're just drooling and roaring. But in this one, totally fixes it. Like they're commanding orders. They have commanders. They're tactical. They look like an actual army against another army. It's not just the Autobots who look like humans versus the Decepticons that look like beasts. So I do enjoy harking back to what Transformers is. It's just like it's a war. They just look like robots.
Yeah, and I really do like that. You know, there was actually some character in these films. Like I think there was some good character in like the first three movies, and then Age of Extinction and TLK were like, nah, just rehash the same thing for these characters. It's like okay. Um, but I do like the fact like one of the fact I like the most about this whole thing is like Soundwave and Shockwave are both sharing like leadership in a sense. It's not just one of them; it's both of them. Do you notice that?
Rip
Yeah, totally.
Starscream.
Like, you know, Soundwave's the one to give the order of the Decepticons attack, and then Shockwave's like, destroy the launch pad, let none escape. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But now Starscream's like, you know, but what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I could totally tell. And if I was Megatron, be like, yeah, like Shockwave, Soundwave, you're in charge because I trust you guys. So I like that.
Starscream, you're just
Comment
that little
that's
kid
there.
who wants to be leader because you're a spoiled brat. You don't get to be leader. I thought that was neat. I thought also that could have been like an homage to something, maybe a comic or something, but that might be a far fetched. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Something to point out there. So Shockwave talks. He's again voiced by John Bailey. He's great. I think he does a really good Corey Burton Shockwave. And we see the Seekers take off, and we also see Shatter in the behind Shockwave's right shoulder, and she's in her Cybertronian mode, and she looks pretty cool. Another thing I wanted to point out real quick. I know I'm kind of going bit by bit here, but when Soundwave says Decepticons attack, I love the moment right when you see all the Seekers, and then you also see like Dropkick and Shatter in the background. They're all like flying from behind Soundwave. I thought that was badass.
Yeah. What the fuck was that voice crack?
Puberty.
I'm
So
17.
the Seekers take off. We do see a couple of them. We see a green one with a cone head who is, I'd like to say Acid Storm just because, like, I wouldn't mind Acid Storm being a cone head. I thought that'd be cool. We see Starscream. We see Skywarp. We do see Thundercracker earlier on, and Optimus kind of like judo flips him, so I thought that was cool. And they're all taking off. They're in their Tetrajet forms. They're about to destroy the launch pad. The Autobots, beautiful voiceover by Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, like, Cybertron has fallen. Get to the escape pods. There are other Autobots scattered across the galaxy. And then they all do that, and then Bumblebee is like, hey, Optimus, this is our home, and we need to fight for it. I'm just like...
Did you guys finally... I finally found, after watching the scene a few times, I finally found Teleturn 1 in that scene.
Yeah, same! I was super happy about that, too.
That is for sure a blink. Like, it is, like, it's so hard to find that. You have to watch the video at low speed.
It's like split second.
Yeah.
But that's like total G1 Teletran 1 right there. I was happy about that. But this is where I came with the issue of Dylan O'Brien. Like, I feel like that line, you know, Optimus, this is our home and we need to fight for it. I feel like that could have been portrayed better. It sounded so bland and emotionless. It didn't sound concerning. It just sounded like, oh, I'm reading a line. Is that just me, or do you guys...
I thought it portrayed, like, fine.
I think it was pretty decent.
I just feel like there should have been like a little bit more passion into it. It's just me. I'm kind of picky with that kind of thing. Like, if you're gonna do voice acting, go all out. Don't just like go halfway. Dylan O'Brien's great nonetheless. I'm really happy that he got to voice Bumblebee because he did a great job, and I think this is now the definitive voice for Bumblebee. Personally, though, I prefer Johnny Young Bosch for Cybertron. That's just me.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect Bumblebee in my opinion.
So again, that's just one of the moments, but it's whatever. So, Optimus tells him like, we will fight on, but we must find refuge first. I found a planet that's well hidden, Earth. You will travel there and establish a base for us. Once you do, contact us. We'll arrive momentarily. You must defend the planet. If the Decepticons take it, then our people are truly finished. Now go. And that's just, I love that. He sounded so calm, but he sounded so commanding. And I like that.
I agree with
he's got like the little hologram of Earth on there, and he just sounds really cool. It looks really cool. Teletran also, just to answer the comment, Teletran is right after the Decepticons, I believe, fire at the launch pad. Like the camera jerks, and Optimus and Bumblebee like go down a little bit. But if you pause it at just the right moment, you will see an orange box with a monitor on it, and that is Teletran 1.
Also, years before that too, like if you watch if you go on YouTube right now, watch it in slow speed. Before he says Cybertron is fallen, like if you look at the tower, it is in the far distance. The full like panel screen computer itself is there in the background. Uh, it's you can't you can't not miss it because everything's all like kind of dark shade of metal, like gray, but this is standing out on this big orange blue screen. Uh, so there's a way you can find it.
Yeah.
Can I say
I also
something?
like the overhead shot of like the Seekers flying by, and it was just the three of them. I thought that was really neat. So yeah, the Seekers then transform. They have a very Ironhide movieverse transformation sound effect to them, which I kind of like because this movie does reuse a lot of the movieverse sound effects.
Also, with that scene, those three Seekers, you can notice that because since the original scene, it was not Starscream, it was a Blitzwing model. That Blitzwing model is still there instead of the Starscream remake. Like the
Hey, animation errors, just like
If
G1.
anything, yeah, exactly. And if anything, I could totally if you want to make it make sense, you can just I can see Starscream like I'm not going to be commanding like Blitzwing, take my place. If you find Autobot travel like escaping, follow him, and then there you go. You got Blitzwing coming there.
I was thinking like maybe Blitzwing just took off with the Seekers in disguise and just kind of like went to Earth by himself.
Yeah, like my thought is like I can totally see like a Seeker like I can see him like follow the Autobots when they fly out, and I can see Blitzwing if he spots like a pod escaping, so he just follows the pod, and that's how they both just get there.
So then the Decepticons, Seekers, they transform and then they fire. I thought they were guns, but I'm surprised that they were missiles because they were firing like really rapidly. And they shoot down the launch pad and it's going down. And then Bumblebee's escape pod takes off. And we do see Ironhide's take off as well. We also see two other Autobots running by when Optimus and Bumblebee are talking, and I wonder who they were. Unless they were just drones.
We have it. We have it all. I think it's all been spotted here. Like at first, there's like three going left and three going right. Three going right are Ratchet, RC, and Wheeljack, and then next is Cliffjumper, Brawn, and fuck. I know that I'll figure it out later. But they're all Autobots we saw on screen.
Please look in the live chat. It's amazing. There's a lot of Igor jokes.
I'm watching. Apparently Gears was there.
Oh yeah, I actually won't want to talk about that. My friend Detricon Magnus, I have a seizure every time I say that name. But this will kind of tie in. But the scene, remember the scene where like Optimus is saying to Bumblebee, "Oh, you have to go to Earth and snap and just tweet us when you get there." Basically, if you pay attention to the back, you see like all the Autobots running along.
Yeah.
No,
I saw that. I also wanted to point out in the same scene where like the Decepticons are attacking, when that other character dies and Brawn gets shot, I think you can see Hound. Because you see a very lengthy green Autobot with a shoulder cannon. And then someone also said, I think it was Nacho Prime, he said that Mirage might be in there somewhere. I don't see him. I could be wrong. I don't see him. Send me a picture.
But yeah, that blue and red Autobot that was running after Brawn, me and my friend decided it was Gears.
I would not mind that. I think Gears, honestly, you can't have Brawn without Gears because they were in the same season of G1, so it's like, yeah, okay. I'm curious about what I want to know about Laszlo. Like he said this a while back. Like if you pay attention to that whole like overhead seeker battle, you see Hot Rod, but
I
I
was
don't want to. I don't want to say that's Hot Rod because it does not look like him. Like I mean,
The
when he
Laszlo is the
outlined it,
best
yeah, it looked like Hot Rod.
source.
Wait, what?
Like Laszlo, I wouldn't trust Laszlo. I mean, the guy, he's not like a good source. He's just good at photoshopping.
It was. I don't know. I don't want to say it was Hot Rod. If it was, cool. I also want to know where Onslaught was that whole time because you don't see him either. But it's whatever.
then people.
Maybe the second movie will like focus on like the season 2 characters. I don't know because this one seems to be heavily focused on like season 1 characters. Just interesting. Just thought I'd point that out. So yeah, then obviously this heroic music. Bumblebee's taking off. He's looking down at Cybertron like, oh, I'm gonna be homesick now. And then it goes to 1987, and we get to Sector 7. We get to see the training among them, but we don't know that until a little later. And I think this was one of the best moments in the movie, just me personally, for human humor. Because I specifically love when the guy gets trapped in that little like that rope trap, and like John Cena's character, Agent Burns, just like he's just shooting the gun, but like saying, "Oh, it's a faulty trigger. Oh, someone needs to get you talking to." He just starts shooting him and shooting him. It was great. And we cut immediately. We see Bumblebee in his escape form. I almost keep wanting to say protoform. He crashes down near that area, and then he stands up, and John Cena's character looks at him, and they look at him, and vice versa. Bumblebee
And then they
scans
got
the area
married.
and has like zoomed in. Wait, what?
I was just saying a joke.
Oh. And he has like very zoomed in vision, which I kind of like, and he can only do it with like his battle mask down, I think. So he then runs away, and then a chase ensues. Bumblebee scans a Jeep, which I thought was really cool. He gets chased in Humvees. You see Bumblebee actually transform into the Jeep. Kind of cheated a little bit though, but it's the movieverse. It's whatever. But it was cool to see Bumblebee turn into a Jeep. And John's like Agent Burns is like, take it down. He shoots a harpoon and gets the steering wheel, and Bumblebee transforms back, and then he's running kind of like how Optimus would run in Dark of the Moon whenever he was getting shot at by Sentinel. Bumblebee's kind of doing the same thing. And then they head to an abandoned mine. They're about to head to the mine, and it gets cut off. And again, Dylan O'Brien did a really good job. His grunt that he did sounded really painful. Like Bumblebee sounded like he was hurt or frustrated. It's just like that was good. So they pull up. They got guns pointed at him, and then Bumblebee speaks. He's like, "Please, I don't want to hurt anyone." And this is where I'm thinking this could go one of two ways. Either he's saying that genuinely, and the people actually understand that, or Sector 7 hears that, and they're like, "Okay, prep your guns. This guy means business." So then, after that, we get a jet flying overhead, and we all know who that is. And it turns out to be Blitzwing. Someone's like, who called in the Air Force? And Bumblebee, just for some reason, he's like, that's not the Air Force. I'm like, you've only been on Earth for like 5 minutes. How would you know? But then it's revealed. It turns out to be Blitzwing because you get the missile, and it has spikes and has a Decepticon insignia, and he fires and kills all the other people except for Agent Burns. And then Blitzwing circles around and then transforms into robot mode and pretty much like chokeslams Bumblebee against a mountain. And this is where David Sobolov really does a good performance because he sounded a lot like Hothead from Transformers Animated, the firehead of Blitzwing, the angry one. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Blitzwing's actually still pertaining this personality that he had from 2007. And while he's fighting, he sounds incredibly angry. The fight choreography is really, really well done. You actually get to see these characters fight. Blitzwing towers over Bumblebee, and it's great. It gives you like an Optimus Prime versus Megatron type fight. You also hear the classic metal thunking sound effect, which I thought was cool. He's also using his regular jet abilities like really well, like the power of flight, like all Decepticons have. I thought that was really cool. He also delivers a very cheesy line like, "Now you'll die screaming," like your friends did. Bumblebee just like tackles him, and I love how Blitzwing is like, "Oh," he just falls over. He's looking at Bumblebee. He's like, "Nope, not gonna get me." Flies past, and then just like again kind of choke slam him against the mountain and drags him up until he climbs all over his back, starts stabbing the crap out of him and his jets and everything, and he gets into a fight. Blitzwing once again pulls out his gun on top of the mountain, starts shooting at Bumblebee, and he's about to fall off, and then Blitzwing grabs him by the chest, and he's like, "Tell me where your friends are hiding." Bumblebee's like, "I'll never talk." And this is where we finally get to know how Bumblebee lost his voice, and I thought that was really clever because originally in the Transformers Beginnings DVD, Bumblebee lost his voice by Megatron, and the same thing goes for the Transformers movie prequel comic. I thought that was cool. But now we actually get to see how he took it out, and I don't know what Blitzwing uses, but he uses this weird probe thing. I don't know, what would you call that? Did you call it a probe? Call it a dagger.
I call it a fork.
Wait, what'd you call it?
I said I call it a fork.
You call it a fork. So he tears out Bumblebee's voice box. He can't speak no more. It actually says something like something synthesis or like that is damaged. I think voice synthesizer damaged, and he threw it to the ground and then chucks Bumblebee off a cliff. Doesn't say nothing. Just throws him off a cliff. He starts rolling and he falls. You hear Blitzwing transform from jet mode and then back to robot mode. And then he approaches Bumblebee, but he sounds very calm. He doesn't sound as angry anymore. And this is where I'm thinking, this is kind of where he took inspiration from Transformers Animated, because he had the German guy who sounded very calm, very cool and collected, and very calculative. And then this is where the classic spoiler that I said earlier, of another TFTCs a while back, but I like this. I actually really like this line. He's like, "You betrayed Cybertron, and a member of the Autobot Resistance." I don't think we've ever heard that before. The Autobot Resistance. We've heard faction, we've heard team, but we've never heard resistance. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of more like a war type thing, and I kind of like that. And then he's like, and I now sentence you to death. And then Bumblebee gets pissed off. Somehow he knows where Blitzwing's missiles are in his arms, grabs one, sticks it in Blitzwing. Blitzwing is like, oh no! Optics go wide, jaw kind of drops a little bit. He's trying to tug at the missile. Bumblebee pulls out his Stinger blaster and fires and kills Blitzwing immediately, which kind of a downer that a missile kills him, as well as that plasma burst. But it's I don't know.
Can I just say this real quick though? Two things. First of all, yes, Igor solo movie. I will sign that petition. Second of all, can I just say how? All right, I like how we all the TF fan base kind of complained about all the deaths in the Transformers movies being violent and kind of ridiculous. But I'm sorry, the deaths in the Bumblebee movie. Of course, there are 3 more later. One of them isn't that ridiculous, but the other 2 are. It's a bit more creative. It's a
more
lot
creative, but it's also still along the same lines as a movieverse death.
Yeah,
if not worse.
Yeah, the deaths are ridiculous in Bumblebee.
I don't understand why everyone's griping about, Optimus isn't killing as many people in this film. It's bitch, please. He's taken out tons of Decepticons. Many of them are dying. Yeah, he only kicks a few at some points, but he does shoot the shit out of a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then Blitzwing's dead. Bumblebee can't talk. He's damaged. Agent Burns is confirmed to be alive because obviously we need him as a future protagonist. And Bumblebee, he's walking to a lake. He falls and kind of passes out, and he's looking around trying to see if he can find a way to save himself. And then we see a van that looks very similar to the Rust Bucket from Ben 10, which I loved. And then we see the classic Generation 1 Volkswagen, which I'm really happy about. I think that car looks beautiful for what it is. That's just me. Not just saying that because it's G1. I actually do like the little Volkswagen Beetle because it reminds me of Herbie. And then we cut to human establishment. We get to Charlie Watson. She's waking up, getting ready for work and such. And we meet the family, and they're kind of cringy. She eats Mr. T cereal. She goes to work. She works at a concession stand at the pier.
I don't care what.
Corn dog girl.
Can I just say, though, I'm sorry, but Charlie Watson is my favorite live-action human character.
I mean, she does a lot more than Cade and Sam put together.
I mean, yeah, the beginning, like, I'm sorry, I have to get this out of the way. The beginning, though, is kind of just cringy and just not needed. Like how the movie even has like the stereotypical '80s like bully with like the super hot
Oh,
boyfriend.
yeah. I'm not crazy about the bully in this whole thing. I just feel like she was kind of just shoved in there for drama or something. I don't know. I didn't care for it. I just wasn't fond of her. But Charlie Watson's good. Memo was great. I actually really enjoyed Memo. He kind of reminds me a little bit of me, a little bit, kind of quirky, kind of awkward, that type of thing. So I was pretty pleased with those two characters. The only characters I couldn't stand were the parents and the little brother because they annoyed the shit out of me. In fact, I remember one time when the stepfather was saying something, and then I said this in the theater. I'm not going to take it back. I'm not going to deny it. I said, "Can this character please just die?"
Oh no, I hated the stepfather. There is in fact, remember the birthday present scene? Like, I'm sorry, I don't
The
care.
fucking smile. Like, okay, that was funny, but at the same time, it's like, it's okay.
I'm sorry, but like, I
Didn't
know
realize
that
you were a therapist.
I'm sorry, but like, this universe is kind of more wacky. But I'm sorry, that to me, like, I chuckled a little bit, but after, I just felt like this guy's kind of a douchebag.
I wouldn't say douchebag just because you didn't give her like an expensive gift or anything. I'm just
Well, I
like,
mean,
okay. It's
no,
just like, eh.
she could have accepted anything. I'm talking about the book that he gave her. Like, that was actually to me kind of like, well, that's kind of insulting.
Yeah,
Just
like
smile
what you
more.
saying? I'm not smiling more or something. Also, I'm just gonna say this: no filter, no nothing. The mother had some good moments, but she was a cunt.
Oh no,
I hated her so much. She was worse than fucking Judy from Transformers movie trilogy. Like Judy Witwicky. I liked her more than this mom. I did not like her. Like, going a little further into the whole thing, obviously Charlie discovers Bumblebee. They have a friendship moment. And it's like, I'm not going to tell anyone about your secret. You can only show yourself around me, blah, blah, blah. But then there's the one scene where Bumblebee destroys the whole freaking house. And the mom comes back and she immediately assumes that fucking Charlie was the one to do all this damage. Like, first of all, how? Unless you had like a really raging party or something, how?
like
And not to
how?
mention, Charlie was at work. She just got home just to see all this. Maybe they could have got ransacked, but what does this fucking bitch do? She's just like, oh, I'm gonna blame it on my 18-year-old daughter just because that's something that she would do. It's like, no.
The
I
mom was an
fucking hated
asshole.
her. I really fucking hate that mother. Like, seriously. Judy was a lot more tolerable. This bitch, I just want her to die.
Oh god. Okay, calm down, bud.
I did not like the parents at all. Like, no.
Whoa there, buddy. Kind of.
So, I mean, okay, guys, you're messaging me. Not in the live chat. You guys are safe, but anyone who's messaging me outside of social media right now, I cannot answer. I'm live. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. But yeah, so the whole thing, I'm trying to go by this as quickly as I can, but also trying to go in depth as I possibly can because that's what I do. So yeah, that they have an establishing friendship. We also cut later whenever Charlie discovers the Volkswagen, we're introduced to Uncle Hank, who's actually one of the few humans I like because he's an asshole, but he's also a funny asshole. And
Yeah.
I think he's played by the guy who plays the grandfather in Blue Bloods. If you guys have not seen that cop drama, by the way, it's great. Go check it out. But I think that was the same old man. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. And I just liked how he was. I also like the little reference to the one guy from the one mechanic. I'm not going to say the ethnicity or whatever. The one mechanic who sounds a lot like that one guy who was in football commercials who's like, "Hey kid, catch," and then he's like, or vice versa. And after he hands him like a Coke or something, he's like, "Thanks, kid." Charlie kind of does that, but with like a wrench, and it's the wrong size that the guy asked for, but it works a lot better. And he's like, "Thanks, kid." He's like, "Yep." And just like, nice little 80s reference there. I thought that was funny. And then we continue to progress with the story. Charlie finds the Volkswagen. It turns out to be Bumblebee, obviously, but before that, she finally starts the car. It transmits a signal all the way to Saturn's moon. I want to say Titan. And we see Dropkick and Shatter. And Dropkick is holding Cliffjumper's arm.
Ooh.
And immediately I'm already like, I know what's going to happen here, but I don't want it to happen. So don't you dare do this to me, movie. But it did. And I'm not too mad, but at the same time, it's like, okay, he didn't really have to die, but these Decepticons mean business, so whatever.
Can I say the obvious joke?
Then Shatter. Yeah, go ahead.
Cliffjumper had the split. Listen, if the jazz splitting jokes can last 10 years, so can Cliffjumpers.
Well, yeah. So, like, Shatter's kind of the one taking charge. Dropkick's just the brute who wants to kill something, which I love. And Cliffjumper just kind of says, he does like a very militaristic thing whenever it comes to interrogation. He's like, my name is Cliffjumper, Lieutenant of the Autobot Resistance. And he gets stabbed. He's like, ugh, ugh. He says it again. And then after that, when they hear Bumblebee's signal, he's like, no. He says never. He says like 4 lines. And then after that, Shatter's like, you deserve a better death. But then again, and then Dropkick pretty much like lockdown, like Age of Extinction lockdowns Cliffjumper's ass, just splits him in half, and the screen cuts immediately to his face. You see his optics go dark, and he just splits in half. Yeah. I thought that was really creative, really cool, and also very gory, and I loved it. Then it cuts back down to Earth, and Charlie gets the Beetle, and they go to the garage, and she notices something's wrong, so she tries to fix it, but she doesn't recognize any of the technology at the moment, except for like one thing. And she sees Bumblebee's face. He transforms. He gets scared. A kite covers his face, and he gets even more scared. Charlie's about to walk out of the room, and she comes back, and they start talking, or at least try to. She calls him Bumblebee, and then the story pretty much progresses from there. It's basically Iron Giant / E.T. / any other type story that's like this. And then we get introduced to the Decepticons on Earth. So Shatter and Dropkick make it down to Earth in a trailer park, and again, one of my favorite few humans is like Roy and this redneck chick. And he's like, I want a divorce, Roy. He's like, oh, come on, Cheryl, why? You tried to sleep with my sister unsuccessfully.
I'm sorry. That was the most racist joke ever.
I love that whole scene.
Or it's not racist, it's more offensive. Well, I guess it's kind of racist if you think about it.
So it's still technically a Michael Bay movie. And then we see an escape pod or a protoform or whatever you want to call it, because I don't think they had a protoform. Not sure about that, actually. But we see that crash down, and it's about to hit the car. He's like, not my car! And it turns out to be Shatter's car, and so she crashes into the truck. Dropkick crashes into the truck. Shatter crashes into the Plymouth GTX. And they both scan the vehicle mode. We get a beautiful beginning transformation sequence for these characters with some very unique transformation noises. They look cool. They start talking. These two humans are being really stupid, just standing there looking at these beings, not running or anything. Just go ahead and stand there. Be smart. Go ahead. Whatever. And then Dropkick makes a comment like the life forms on this planet are more primitive than I thought. Takes out a gun, but he doesn't shoot anything. He just kind of charges it up. And my buddy Caleb thinks it was radiation that might have killed him, which is possible. But then he just explodes into goo. And I thought that was again really gory, but also really cool. And Dropkick delivers one of my favorite lines from him ever. I just I like the way they pop.
Can I just say, though, how confused I am about that? I mean, at this point in the movie, they made one offensive joke, and they already showed, brutal Transformer deaths. And in fact, I was expecting it. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind them. I don't mind him turning into goo. In fact, the first time I seen it, I fucking laughed because it was hilarious. But, I mean, come on, again, this isn't a minus towards the movie. I'm just more confused of, you already made an offensive joke, and there's already a bunch of, kind of violent deaths. I know you're trying to keep that E-rated, family-friendly tone, but I think you kind of went past that. So, did you really think that showing a human, actual human death was too gory for you guys?
I mean, again, I prefer the Dark of the Moon version where it's they just blow up into bones.
Yeah,
I
I was
don't know
just
why the goo, but okay. Then again, we are made out of like 80% water, 70% water. My bad. So I mean, it does make sense, and even Nacho Prime agrees with me. In fact, we said it at the same time. So hey, great minds think alike. Um, but yeah, so they're introduced. They transform back. They're trying to find Bumblebee. They later meet Sector 7, and basically, they get their vehicle modes, their second vehicle modes, their jet form and their helicopter form, just by scanning them in car mode, which I thought was really cool. It's not the first time they've done this. 2007 did it. Optimus Prime did it in TLK, or not TLK, AOE. Bumblebee did it in AOE, so it's not anything new. And we see them transform, and their robot modes look very different. And that's something else I want to say. I like the progression of the design for Dropkick and Shatter in this movie. Like, you see their Cybertronian forms, you see their Earth forms, and then Dropkick has like the car chest and everything like he does in his promo art. Then when they get the helicopter and jet form, you see those parts contributing to the robot mode design, and I thought that was really cool.
yeah, kind of like a mix of both of them.
Yeah, Cyborg, you haven't said much. You want to actually like say something? I feel
Yeah,
bad.
sorry, I'm just waiting because at this point we're just retelling the film. I'm waiting for the actual review of the film.
Oh, really?
Um,
All right. Well,
I-
I think I'm halfway or a quarter of the way, probably even 3/4 of the way done already. So then they meet up with Sector 7. We get to meet Dr. Powell, who's this Agent Simmons like character who's always wanted to meet aliens and communicate with them and everything. And I like the scene with Dropkick and Shatter, how they're both like trying to con these humans, like we're Decepticon peacekeepers patrolling the galaxy. And again, Dropkick delivers one of my favorite lines. He's, wait, what are you doing? This is so humiliating. And I'm just like, I love Dropkick. He's great. And then they're like, oh, maybe we can find a way to help one another out. And it's like, very well, friend Powell. Take us to your leader. And I'm like, they finally said it in a Transformers movie. I was happy about that. It's the cheesy things like that I enjoy. And then we cut back when Charlie's about to leave for work. Bumblebee's, he's a car. He's trying to transform. He transforms underneath the tarp. And he doesn't want to leave. He's like a sad little puppy. He's going to be all lonely. And we get to the destroying house scene. I already gave you my thoughts on this whole thing, except for I really like the interaction between Bumblebee and the house itself. I thought that was really humorous, really funny. I thought it was great.
yeah.
Curious on why his optics went green, though. Like, I don't know why they went green, but they went green. So that was weird.
I love his interaction with the dog, though.
Yeah, that was cute. That was really cute. And then, like I said, Charlie comes home, and then she's like, "Where's Bumblebee?" Bumblebee's hiding behind a little kind of cupboard, like divider. He's actually like hiding behind it so well you can't see him until he pokes his head out. He just looks so cute. And he's not like even fully transformed until like he's like waves his hand shyly at Charlie. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't do anything wrong," and she yells at him. Bumblebee gets scared and he transforms into his Volkswagen mode. He transforms back, but he destroys a ceiling fan, and then he gets into his what I would like to call the Segway mode, because he has his wheels as his feet.
Actually, can I say something? I actually really love because like not even animated, or like even most like TF source, the other TF media don't really address this. But the Bumblebee movie, it kind of addresses it, and I always wanted to see it in some way, shape, or form. But I like the fact that like the Transformers can actually control like when to transform and not like fucking like again in his Bumblebee in his little Segway mode. Like that like I'm
Or
really
whenever
glad
Bumblebee is trying to get through the garage door, like the door into the house itself, and he like transforms his upper body, like his arms disappear, and he like bits his way through. I thought that was really clever, because this isn't something that like this isn't anything new to the Transformers movie verse, but like they've done it before. But I really like how it's done here. Like I think it was really well done here. So like I said, then the mom comes home. She yells at Charlie. Like I said, I want this fucking cunt to die. It cuts back, and there's an energy surge, and Sector 7, Shatter, and Dropkick pick up on the signal. Bumblebee, Memo, and Charlie are driving. Sector 7 stops them. Bumblebee transforms in front of them like a dummy, but also protecting Charlie and Memo, which is fine. Well, not Memo. They kind of left Memo like, hey, Sector 7, he's yours. Bumblebee, get me out of here. He's like, Agent Burns is like, no, do not run. And one thing I want to point out, just because this is a minor thing, John Cena spits a lot in this movie, like more than Starscream.
Yeah, he spits real hard.
When he's do not run. Like, all you see is just a spray of spit. Like, what happened?
Wait, where's John Cena?
That was funny to point out. But then they ran. They're like, no, do not run. And then they ran. And it's like they ran. And then we see Dropkick and Shatter transforming from jet and helicopter mode to their car modes, 2 roll modes. Shatter pulls out her gun. She shoots at Bumblebee. Bumblebee transforms just in time to protect Charlie, and they both get blown back, and they start beating the shit out of Bumblebee. And then after that, Sector 7 comes, and they tase both Charlie and Bumblebee. And then later, we get them taken to a facility. I'm not going to cover all the human stuff, by the way. I'm just going to say that right now. They take them to the facility, and then this is where the Decepticons' true colors start to come out. They don't call Powell friend Powell in this part. They actually call him human Powell. Like, this is none of your business. They start beating on Bumblebee to the point where Dropkick pretty much like does the thing that Bumblebee does on Optimus and TLK, where he like stomps on his chest, and that breaks a panel and shows a hologram of Optimus saying like, "We are coming to Earth. Stay safe, soldier. I am coming." And they're like, Prime is coming here, and they're all coming here. We need to find a way to transmit a message to our Decepticon forces on Cybertron. And they get this idea of getting onto the satellite, using it to transmit a message all the way from Earth to Cybertron. And I kind of like that whole plan. I think that's actually really clever. Very 80s, but it's very clever. So then Bumblebee is like he's pretty much like quote unquote dead, knocked out, whatever you want to call it. Dropkick and Shatter transform, and they drive away, and then they fly away. Charlie gets the idea of using the stun guns as like shock paddles to bring back Bumblebee, which I thought, again, really clever, but also kind of dumb.
Can I rant about that for a second? All right. Very clearly, Bumblebee died. Like, I don't care what no one says, just dead. He's no more. I'm sorry, but the spark should have been, offline. It should have not had any power left in it. I call bullshit on the fact that you can just use a stun gun to reignite a spark.
I mean, maybe the spark his spark was never extinguished. So
yeah, I have to find that scene was like that. Yeah, to me, like it's kind of one of those like, oh no, my best friend's gone. It's like, in the whole like electric gun thing. I agree. Like that scene is kind of like feels weird in the lore of Transformers. If it was any other robot movie, then I would see it. But because like we know the Transformers anatomy, it did seem kind of like
we know they just don't run on electricity. They run on energon.
Yeah.
Like, we know they don't run on electricity. We know they run on energon. So
yeah, that for sure was a shoehorn. Like, let's do the generic, kid loses his alien friend, but then he thinks he's dead, but he's not in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, it was interesting. Like I said, it was clever for what it was. It was very 80s, but I kind of like that it was just implemented. They were trying. Then Bumblebee comes back, and he is a really badass scene, except I kind of didn't like whenever, okay, I get Charlie hit him first, but I really didn't like how Agent Burns just, shoved Charlie to the ground. I thought that was a little much, but it was needed, because Bumblebee gets pissed. And I really like how he kind of goes Dark of the Moon Cyberfire Bumblebee on these guys, because he has the red optics. He's immensely pissed off. He's like, you don't fuck with Charlie. He starts taking out his gun. He has his battle mask down. He starts shooting the shit out of everyone and everything until Charlie is like, hey, you can calm down now. And he still has the red optics and everything, and he's looking at her, and he starts calming down. His optics start getting big and puppy-eyed again. They're nice and blue. And then they run away, and they go chase Shatter and Dropkick. And
that moment confused the hell out of me.
To cut it short, There's a car chase involving the other human, the parents. They actually try to help Charlie, even though they don't understand what's going on. They have no idea of Bumblebee's existence. They don't know anything. So I don't know what drove them to help her, but okay. And then we make it to the docks, and first Transformers fight at the docks, which is interesting. So we see Bumblebee. He's got his memory back and everything now. He knows about Shatter and Dropkick. He knows about the Decepticons. He knows about his weapons and everything. So he's transforming and fighting and everything. Shatter and Dropkick are at the satellite. They already implemented the Energon fueled cell and about to transmit the message all the way from Earth to Cybertron via Earth satellites. And they're at I think 50% at the moment. And then they engage with Bumblebee. The triple changing method is used a lot. Like, it's not just robot on robot, it's robot and transforming implemented into fighting, much like Devastation, which I thought was great. Nice little homage to the G1 intro where Bumblebee transforms into vehicle mode after getting thrown by Dropkick. He transforms back, punches Dropkick, kind of like how Jazz did Skywarp in the intro. And then we come to the inevitable scene that was seen in the trailer, or one of them, which if you avoided it, good for you. I did not, neither did Merritt, so unfortunately we were spoiled. But we come to the scene where Bumblebee kind of puts Dropkick in a headlock with his ankles and flips him, and then Dropkick transforms to his AMC Javelin mode, and then transforms again to the helicopter mode. He starts firing. Bumblebee gets this idea: if I use this chain hook, catches him by the rotor, somehow interferes with his transformation, then also holds Dropkick in place. These are chains. These are regular Earth chains. So I don't understand how it can... Okay. And then he tugs on the chain, the arms come popping off, and then his head comes off, and he blows up, and it's oh, Dropkick is dead.
Can I just say I laughed? Can I tell you why that was comedic to me? Because it was just I know this kind of makes me sound kind of like a fucking kind of shitty person, but I'm sorry. But the chains get caught in Dropkick's robot mode / vehicle mode, and I'm sorry, it was just so comedic to me because Dropkick says very seriously to Bumblebee, "You think these chains can hold me?" Then Bumblebee just tugs at the chains a little. Then even remember when a character dies comedically, they do an overdramatic. Even Dropkick does that with all of his with his head and his arms flying off. He does then he just explodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad way for Dropkick to go because I liked him more than... I mean, I love Shatter and Dropkick, but I like Dropkick more. So yeah, Dropkick is unfortunately dead. You get to see his head right by Bumblebee's foot, kind of like how they did with Blitzwing earlier on. So they're both dead, both Decepticons, but they did put up a really good fight. And then Charlie is up in the satellite, and they took out the device and are about to, and then Bumblebee shoots her while in jet mode. So then she goes down, she transforms, she fights Bumblebee. She's incredibly pissed off. She just lost her partner, Dropkick. Charlie ruined her plan, and she's going ham on Bumblebee. There was a moment where Bumblebee was punching her in the face while she was pinned to the ground. Dropkick or Shatter goes a lot harder than how Bumblebee did it because she's wailing on his head nonstop and letting out a really agonized, frustrated grunt just oh my god. So then after that, she picks up something, or she has a sword or something. I can't tell if it was a piece of metal or what.
It's it's the blade. She broke off Bumblebee's blade.
Oh, that's what I wasn't sure because it was so skinny. It looked like just a piece of pipe or something that was sharp on the end or something. But after I kill you, I'll kill her. And then Bumblebee pulls out his gun and he shoots at the dam or whatever it is to stop the boats. And she's like, "Oh, you missed it." It's this is where Optimus would pretty much say that is a view of perspective or something. It's just okay. So we kind of all know what happens next. A garbage barge kind of starts going down, and Bumblebee's holding her in place, and she's like, "Go kill us both." Bumblebee makes it. Dropkick's or Shatter. I keep wanting to say Dropkick. Shatter's fate is unknown at this point. People are thinking she died because it exploded, but that could have just been the boat.
I'm sorry, but I actually saw her head fly off in a shot.
Yeah, and also I believe she's the first to explode, so I believe she's gone.
Wait,
yeah.
What?
I think she's the one who explodes.
And in a shot, I actually saw her head fly off.
I didn't see that. I might have to go back and rewatch that. Well, if that's the case, Shatter is dead. I thought there was like a rumor going on that like Shatter might be battle damage for Bumblebee 2. If that was the case, though, that'd be cool. Kind of have like a Dark of the Moon Megatron type thing. I want Shatter to come back. I also want Dropkick to come back, but he's dead, so it makes me sad. But yeah, the day is saved. The plan is ruined. The Decepticons are dead, and we end off on a kind of a somewhat sad note, sort of like they go back. Memo gets cockblocked. Bumblebee has some place to go, obviously, so they go to the Golden Gate Bridge, which is the new Golden Gate Bridge and not the old one because they can't do that. They could have CGI'd it or something. I don't know. But Bumblebee's in his Volkswagen mode still, and then we cut to a beautiful scene where we see a 1976 or 67 Camaro, and we all know what's going to happen next. Bumblebee scans that Camaro from the bridge. He transforms into it, and she freaks out, kind of like how Sam did whenever he freaked out whenever he was the 2007 Camaro. And she's like, you could have been Camaro this whole time? Oh my god. He drives off playing, don't you forget about me. And he drives off onto the bridge, and we see a beautiful shot of a Generation 1 Optimus Prime. And it is him because at the very end of the movie, or post-credit scenes, we see Optimus on Earth, which kind of retcons 2007 if you think about it.
Yeah,
I feel like at the end of all this, we're going to talk about the fate of the future of this franchise.
Yeah, 100%. It's not a 67. I'm sorry, I screw up the numbers. I can't remember the years. I keep wanting to think the other one was whatever. The 1976 Camaro Bumblebee. There we go. I said it right now. Anyway, we see him on Earth. He has the form. He looks very much like his Volkswagen design, but with like the Camaro parts. So it's not the definitive, movieverse Bumblebee that we've seen through movie 1 and then movie 2, so on and so forth. And then he's like, this planet, our race is now saved thanks to you, B-127. He's like, my name is Bumblebee. And then we cut to a shot in the sky where we see 7 protoforms in the shape of a backwards 4, which someone thought that would have been a reference to Jazz because he had the number 4 on him. So, I mean, okay, why not? And that's it. That's all it is. That is
life. I love to sing a song.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld also does like the end song, which she did really good. I like that song.
Can I just say that movie credits nowadays are starting to become like actually really good.
Yeah, they're actually entertaining as opposed to like, hey, here's a black screen for like 5 minutes.
I actually like fucking stayed behind to like actually watch the end credits because like the end credits were great.
Yeah, I liked the credits. I thought they were good. But yeah, so that was Bumblebee as a whole. That was the movie. A lot of cheesy moments, a lot of genuinely good heart-tugging moments, a lot of great action. Nice to see the robots actually fighting each other as opposed to like shaky cam. Transformations were really good. There's a lot of transforming in this movie, like a lot more than all the other movies put together. At least that's what it feels like. The guy who voices Lord Garmadon from the Lego Ninjago movie, he did really great as Dropkick. I loved him. Angela Bassett, she was really good as Shatter. I think she did an amazing performance. Dylan O'Brien was great as Bumblebee for the time being. Peter Cullen is always great. John Bailey was amazing. David Sobel as Blitzwing was really cool. Gray Delisle coming back as RC after almost 10 years was great. Steve Bloom as Wheeljack was a nice surprise. Jack Kirby, I think his name was.
Yeah, Jack Kirby.
I could be wrong about that, but the guy who voices Brawn and all the other ones are, it's really, he did really good as Brawn, and I think that Decepticon Seeker. And then the guy who voices Cliffjumper did really good. The voice didn't really match Cliffjumper for me personally, but it was whatever. So the guy who also voices Ratchet was really good too.
Yeah.
A lot of the G1 designs were great, and I think that's why this movie gets so much praise, because a lot of G1 fans wanted a Generation 1 looking movie, which I understand, but that doesn't necessarily make it a good movie. I think what made it a good movie was the story, the action, and the humor, the drama. There was a lot thrown into this movie, and it worked really well. There were some parts where it didn't make sense, and some parts where it was like, okay, this didn't really have to be in there, but it was good nonetheless. So, if I were to personally rate it, I mean, I've already said it before, and John Bailey agrees with me. It's like, this is the one Transformers movie that we've wanted. That's actually really good. Like, 2007 is still good to me. I mean, I still say it's a little bit better than Bumblebee, but this is the one. In my personal opinion, I really like it. But as a general standpoint movie, this needs to go for about like 80 to 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. As a Transformers movie, it's great. As a regular movie, I feel like a lot of people can get kind of like, kind of bored with it.
For me, it's the opposite. Actually, like I as a movie, like as a film, I think it deserves the praise it's getting in the critic response. I mean, it's not doing anything crazy. We've seen this movie 1,000 times in different forms, Iron Giant, ET. It just I guess it's getting a lot of this praise because it's turning around this franchise that's been slowly dying. But as a movie, yeah, I think I would say is that as a movie, it's probably the best one for Transformers franchise. But as a Transformers film, like if you want to watch a movie about Transformers, you want the Transformers. I would watch like Dark of the Moon. That's for me. That's my for sure the Transformers movie. It has all like the big title characters all in one film. But Bumblebee, like, yeah, the first scene is amazing. The first 2 minutes, but like,
obviously, like the first 5 minutes of it were great.
yeah, exactly. If you want a Transformers scene, if you want the best Transformers scene, that's probably it. But like for a Transformers, if you want to watch a movie about the Transformers, for Bumblebee, you're just gonna get a Transformer fighting a couple others, and then like that's really it. Like if I would say if you want Transformers action, you won't really find it enough in Bumblebee. I think that's why like for like when I watched the previous ones in theaters, I watched last night 2 times. I watched I saw all these movies like more than once, but Bumblebee was a movie that like I saw it and I didn't need to go see it again because like it was like it wasn't as I love action, so I guess there wasn't as actiony as I was expecting it to be. So I think if you want Transformers action, like this is not the best one. I would say The Dark of the Moon would for sure be the best Transformers film. But as a film in general, Bumblebee I say is across the board like the best one, if not just better than the other films.
Um, my thing, by the way, I'm kind of surprised we didn't go into it since to me it's one of the best aspects of the film. But I love Bumblebee and Charlie's relationship and Charlie's backstory. And I'm sorry, but the fact that a Transformers movie almost like made me feel like strong emotions during one scene. I'm not going to spoil it since I want you all to go watch it for yourselves and actually experience it. But there was one scene during the garage where Charlie is talking about is talking about a dead parent. I'm just going to spoil it a little bit. But let's just say it could
spoiled the whole movie, so it's okay.
Well, yeah, Charlie's dad's dead, and she's dealing with it, and Bumblebee helps her, and there's a garage scene that really does get emotional. Like it generally got strong feelings from me.
So yeah, that's for sure. That's Charlie's that is Charlie's best scene in the film for like
yeah,
for sure.
I just kind of wish they didn't go the whole dead parent route. Like that's I mean I get it, but like why?
But yeah, generally, I think it's a great film, and I think it's a great Transformers film because, as a film, like even the general audience kind of admits, yeah, we've seen this story over and over, but this film just does it in such a different way. Like Bumblebee is cute. Charlie as a human character is actually really fucking good to follow, and it's really engaging. And I'm sorry, but let's just say the action
don't be sorry.
love.
Share your thoughts. This is the thought corner. Don't be sorry.
It's
a safe place.
The action for me was my favorite because I don't know, the action from the trilogy was good for Revenge of the Fallen in the first one. But let's just say over time, I just saw it was the same thing. Just punching, then stabbing, then just, people getting their heads blown off. Like Dark and Moon especially loved blowing people's heads off. I just love the fact that the action in the Transformers movie, yeah, there was less of it, but I'd say in this light, less is more, at least for me. Because like the action, it felt you engaged with it, and plus it did the one thing that I've wanted a Transformers action thing or action scene to do, and that's incorporate the vehicle modes into combat. And it does so much of that, and I love it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So
The choreography in this film for sure is the best. Like at least you can. I mean, if you've watched the movie 1,000 times, you can see who's hitting who in the previous films. But this one, like a first watch, you can be like, this is who's fighting who. You can see what's going on. You don't have to just squint and be like, I think they're fighting that, but I'm not sure. This one's for sure like a
Yeah,
nice.
I agree there. It was nice to actually see these characters fight other characters.
So yeah, honestly, for me, I love it as a film, but I love it even more as a Transformers film. This is the one I've been waiting for, and it's ironic because when this movie was first announced, all the way back after TOK came out, I literally groaned.
Yeah, I was among the bandwagon with that. I was not ready for
Not
Bumblebee
me.
because I'm just thinking like, oh, how are they gonna do this? Like, it's not just gonna it can't just be a solo story. And I was actually making jokes like, watch it be animated by Pixar or something.
Haha.
Which
If
I
you
could
had
see,
all the
but
TFTCs beforehand, I was always the one saying this would be it. I was right.
yes, you were right, Cyborg. How's it feel?
It's bitter.
Bitter.
A little salty. A little salty.
Well, I mean, I'm glad this actually turned out to be a really good movie. It was a great Transformers movie. I loved it. Again, I think the voice acting was really well done, except for maybe a little bit of Dylan O'Brien's performance in some areas. But other than that, he's a great Bumblebee. John Bailey blew me the fuck away. Like I thought it was Frank Welker and Corey Burton. David Sobolov, always great. I love how his Blitzwing sounds like TFP Shockwave in some moments. I thought he did really well. Everyone else did a fantastic job. Haley Steinfeld was definitely the star of the show, though. Her performance was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Best human actor in this freaking movie franchise ever. Well, maybe next to John Turturro. You can't get enough of him. Or Sir Anthony Hopkins.
For sure, like that month in general, when she had two movies that did a great job critically, and her performance is both for her, and then the other film, Spider-Verse, where she plays Gwen Stacy.
Two major franchises, Marvel and
Yeah.
She does a great job with both films, so good for her.
Yeah, she's doing really well, and I look forward to hopefully seeing her in something else in the future. She's a great actress. She's a great singer too.
If they are gonna bring her back, please don't bring her back too soon because don't bring her back for Bumblebee 2. Like I know this may sound heresy from me, but her character ended on such a good note. It went for full circle. Her character arc is completed. She doesn't need to come back.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I would if they wanted her back for anything, I would see a cameo.
Her story is done. I think they should move on to someone else. Like maybe we could get Shia back in the thing and find a way to connect, or find a way to just do something different. Like if this is really going to be a reboot, because this was written as a prequel and it does have some elements to still be a prequel. I mean, even Travis Knight confirms it's a prequel. But if this turns out to be a reboot and they can't really do anything else from this, maybe find a way to implement some of the Autobots into the next Bumblebee movie and some Decepticons. Like maybe have Shockwave or Soundwave come to Earth, but don't kill them. For the love of God.
They're not too stupid to kill them.
If anything, I
don't know. Dark of the Moon proved otherwise.
If
they learned their lesson.
Also, Dark of the Moon was planning to be their last movie, but Hasbro was like, "Please pick up another trilogy. We really want the money." Otherwise, Dark of the Moon was going to be that ending.
Yeah.
But speaking of, we mentioned about the prequel reboot thing. Do you want to mention all the stuff that was supposed to be in the film?
How can we forget about that?
I have a lot to say.
Like a lot about, for instance, the movie's intro was not supposed to be Cybertron. It was supposed to be Vietnam. Good old Vietnam War with Bumblebee. Once again, the scene was going to be chased, him being chased by John Cena's character, Agent Burns. Only this time, Agent Burns actually has a history with Transformers. You can kind of see it in this movie, why he gets just overly angry for sometimes for random reasons. And that's because his original character was he hates Transformers because his family or someone that he knew of died involving Transformers. So, which is what caused him to hunt them down. But yeah, the original scene was supposed to be him being chased. The Jeep mode was supposed to be there from the get-go because he was in the war. Jeep, it was a military Jeep. So it was all the whole let's hunt down this old Bumblebee character that's been around the world since World War II, and the Blitzwing Bumblebee fight ensues, and then that's how that kind of was supposed to start. No Cybertron, no Optimus, no awesome
We
G1
were gonna
character.
have like a World War II / Vietnam scene though. That would have been cool.
Yeah, yeah, and because remember the Bumblebee prequel comic that's totally a prequel, guys. That's totally makes sense now.
Can
But
I
it
just
doesn't.
say,
Yeah.
just to let you know, just put in a quick advance, I am not gonna get into this conversation, but just I'll get into a rant if I talk with you guys about this. Let's just say I do not like this first version of Bumblebee. Let's just say that.
I mean, I didn't either. I still kind of don't, but at the same
I
time,
mean,
Pedro keeps shoving him in my face so
apparently
much. It's like,
the film itself, like, there's not much changes. Like, it would have been the same movie you're watching, just a few things tweaked and a few things removed. Like, obviously, the big elephant in the room of removed scenes is our big boy in the ice cave who never shows
yeah,
up.
Megatron.
I don't know. That's probably just me wanting this to be a retcon.
I mean, if it is, great. If it isn't, don't be like the many other fanboys out there who are bitching and moaning that it isn't.
I won't bitch and moan about it, but if this is a retcon, and all right, I'm gonna just say this right now. If this is not a retcon, great. I'll watch the other prequels if they're this good. But let's just say I will not be in line for TF6.
Uh, see, here's one thing I would love to see if they do. Let's say they do TF6. Um, what would be great is if they can find a real like. I would love a quick scene of someone in her what it would be early 50s, or 50s around or maybe late 40s, and it'd be like, oh my God, I knew that. Look, like she's probably looking at footage of The Last Night or Dark and Moon or Age of Extinction, just like I know that guy, Bumblebee, and it's Charlie Watson around because she would at this point, The Last Night, she would be what? She was 18 in 1987, which means that
Yeah.
she'd be 38 in 2007 when 2007 happened, which means that she would be 48 when The Last Night happens, which means
Which
if they
that
do.
would not be bad, actually. That'd be a nice way to kind of intertwine everything.
Yeah, like I would, man, like that would be crazy. Like I don't even know why she would be there. Like how crazy it would be if like maybe she after she fixed her dad's car, maybe she's like, I want to like I miss Bumblebee. I want to find more like him. I want to find him again eventually. And maybe she goes to the military. Maybe she becomes a very high like political figure. It's like finally all this work just to meet you again, Bumblebee. It's been fucking 40 years, but here we are.
Spoilers: her old Corvette used to be Sideswipe.
That'd be crazy.
I know,
That'd
right?
be cool.
It'd be cool though too, because it was a red. It was like a burgundy red type Corvette, and Sideswipe was originally a red like Lamborghini Countach.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been. I don't know. That would have been cool though. But like, um, yeah, that would be really neat. Like we were kind of already addressing the elephant in the room, but like there was going to be a scene with Megatron. He did
Yeah.
look really cool looking, kind of like there was some concept art, and it was just kind of his 2007 design. But he was described to be very G1-esque. Originally, he was going to be on Cybertron though.
Oh
Like
yeah,
there
that's
was
right.
going to be a part where he was on
Yeah,
Cybertron. He was
Travis
going to
wanted
like
him to
show up
be in
like
there.
Sauron. Yeah, to quote Travis Knight, he was going to show up like Sauron, blasting the shit out of everything.
I wish that would have happened, but at the same time, that's actually one thing that would give like there's like an actual fight between like the TF fans right now if this is a prequel or a reboot or a retcon.
It's
This argument is worse than Frenzy is red, Rumble is blue, and vice versa. I swear to God, like this is the
great.
new one.
It's literally all the Transformers news sites are just it's a civil war between reboot and prequel. I love it.
I'm saying it's a prequel. It's still a prequel. They took elements from the movieverse, like yeah, kind of Optimus Prime from 2007 retcons it, but B has his Camaro mode, so that kind of intertwines it to 2007. So maybe he kept that mode for about 20 years. The whole World War II Bumblebee thing kind of also references to TLK, kind of connects in. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. And I would have liked that, honestly. I really would have liked to see that. But stop motion creators, there's a World War II Bumblebee out there. It's not accurate, but you can do that if you want. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I want to go with originally what it was. If Travis says it's a prequel, it's a prequel. If it was written as
Well,
something else,
Travis's words is that like I guess so. Here's Travis. What he said in an interview was, "I filmed it to be a prequel. What they do with it afterwards is up to them." I think even though he filmed it to be a prequel, I guess like I think with the original script, the whole fact that they cut everything out, I think right now they gave it the everyone's saying the word preboot of it. What it will become depends on what comes after. Because I
right?
think and hopefully when will we figure that out? Hopefully, like they did with last Toy Fair, if they do some awesome like corporate meeting of here's our future stuff for our franchises. If they mentioned anything about here's Bumblebee's like future. If they mention anything like I'm thinking, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I hope like they did with the last year that they give us a confirmation on prequel or reboot this coming February.
I feel like someone's gonna ask. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
someone's
because
gonna
also what
ask.
was it? That guy there's this guy there's this video buzzing around on YouTube right now of a former Transformers creative team guy. He talks about how his the early stages of Age of Extinction. It's getting a lot popular right now.
Yeah, I
And
actually saw it not too long ago. He also covered the Transformers Prime sequel series as well as the whole thing with Arachnid.
Mhm. Exactly. And so, and his thoughts, and this is the guy being a former creative, manager. His thoughts that he thinks it's going to be a reboot. He thinks that, like after with all the responses, all the positive responses of Bumblebee, that he would believe that that Hasbro would go the reboot route. And I
And like I
personally
said,
agree. And also, it just so happens like look at everything they have here. It's their toy line is a reboot. They're starting fresh. Their shows are reboot, starting fresh. Like it'd be
yeah,
the perfect time
everything's
to
going back to G1.
exactly. And I remember someone online. I was arguing with this guy online. And he made a good point that this is what is called brand recognition. Of when someone goes out to buy something that they want as Transformers, they know what's a Transformer because they can now recognize it. Like for instance, Marvel. When Marvel got big, everything started looking the same. Iron Man started looking the same. Captain America looking the same.
Yeah.
Like you can recognize the Guardians of the Galaxy. You can recognize the Avengers. So now Transformers is doing that too, where there's not just an Optimus Prime looks like a car, and one looks like a knight, and one looks like a gorilla. We're now hitting that full like Optimus Prime is the truck. He looks G1. That's what it will always be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a
Um,
very definitive look now.
Mm-hmm.
can I like throw my hat into the ring for a second that I kind of want people to think about?
You don't have to keep
Here,
asking. You can say whatever you want, man.
I just don't want to interrupt people when they're talking. But here's why I think Paramount is trying to do right now. That interview is real. I'm looking at it right now where Travis Knight did say what they do with it. What they do with it afterwards is like their business, not mine. Here's what I think they're trying to do. I think they're trying. I don't think I'm a shout out Comedy Cam here because he's a good TF YouTuber. But I kind of agree with him when he says I don't think even the studio right now knows what they want to do with Bumblebee.
I can totally agree with that.
It's all
Yeah.
like I think they're like also so confused. Like here's what I think they're gonna do. The next set of prequels, they're officially gonna be called TF prequels. I think they're gonna try and see how these prequels do and see what people say before they officially do anything. If people respond to the Optimus Prime prequel or Bumblebee 2 or the Cybertron film so positively, they'll be like, okay, this is the direction that people want the franchise to go in, so we're making this a reboot or a retcon, a giant retcon.
Mm-hmm.
And like I personally said, if this is a prequel or a reboot and people do not like either or, please don't let this be like the next iteration of the movieverse. Like, don't. There's already enough haters out there in the franchise as is, and unfortunately, that's a thing. There's no good without evil. There's no love without hate, and vice versa. But for God's sake, if someone wants to believe that it is a prequel or if it is a reboot, leave it alone. You can have your opinion, and the other person is entitled to theirs. You don't have to like each other's opinions, but just respect them. Because me personally, I don't care if this is a reboot or a prequel. I'm happy it's a good Transformers movie because this is something that we've needed for years. And I
Yeah.
want to see where this goes next.
Yes.
But I will say,
Like, and I'm genuinely tired of how toxic this fandom has been from what I've experienced. Like, Transformers groups on Facebook have become really bad. A lot. I even spoke to a fellow Transformers fan the other day. He's like, the Transformers fandom is shit. It's a bunch of people whining about what could have been, what wasn't, and all that kind of crap. And it's just like, I unfortunately kind of agree. But then, like, there's also the sub faction where it's like there are people out there who enjoy everything except for Kiss players, obviously, because we don't want to be on an FBI watch list. And there, you know, that's me and many other people out there who enjoy literally everything the Transformers franchise has put out. There are a lot of people out there who are super critical towards it. There are a lot of people out there who enjoy half of it or some of it and not the rest of it, and that's fine.
but just be mindful of other people's opinions.
What?
Oh, I was just about to say, be mindful of other people's opinions.
Pretty much what I was going to say. Whether it's too much to ask for or not, I don't care. It needs to happen because if we're supposed to be a fandom or a community, we need to be together. We need to stick with one another. And I'm just really kind of tired of people getting attacked or harassed by their difference of opinions or something, or friendships being ended because of a stupid argument, all because of fictional giant robots from outer space that turn into cars and trucks and anything else imaginable.
I ended my friendship with my
That's all I'm going to
friends
say.
because there's a Transformer named Wee Woo.
Right?
Oh, my friends are gonna kill me. They're probably watching this. But in Transformers Victory, there's like a tiny Autobot named his Japanese name is Pipo or Pipo. I just call him Pipo. And my friend Will, who's on fucking Instagram, please go check him out. He looked up Pipo in Japanese, and his English name is technically Wee Woo.
Wee woo. Wee woo. Oh yeah,
So
Pipo's the freaking little Isn't he? Or no, not he. She. Oh no, she's
yeah,
one of the Micromasters. She's the boat.
are you talking about Transformers Victory?
Yeah, she's the little
Ye-
Micromaster of the emergency rescue team. It was like
Yeah,
Holy, and then they're the She's a little boat.
yeah, her name's Wee Woo.
I like that actually. But yeah, so like I kind of gave my rating for Bumblebee. I gave my thoughts on it. Cyborg, do you want to say anything else? You haven't really said much.
Yeah, let me just I guess I can only just give like a full consistency. I think Bumblebee was a great movie. I wish there was more Transformers, but I understand why there wasn't. I think I can't wait for future installments. I really hope the sequel is an Optimus Prime Bumblebee buddy cop film, or we're just gonna cartoon it Cybertron movie. And I just hope it's a reboot because I like brand recognition. I think the movie is great. I like the characters, even though sometimes I think I really it's funny. I like of the two Decepticons. I like Dropkick more than Shatter, but you can say that even though they have more personality than let's say like Crowbar, Dropkick doesn't really have a personality. He's angry at people. That's his personality. Um, but yet still I like him a lot more than any like most other characters. Uh, yeah, I like this movie a lot. I want to see more. Please. Yeah.
Yeah, because right now it's a box office hit.
Luckily, like it is successful. Where the last night, comparatively, the last night made about 600,000, sorry, 600 million worldwide, which most like looks like a success to most films. But the last night made is also cost a lot of money, and not just by production value. I also mean merchandising. So it did not make all the money it wanted to back. Bumblebee, on the other hand, being less budget and not as marketing as the last night,
All
with
shot in one
your
location.
yes, exactly. Oh my God, so much money goes into this traveling. So with Bumblebee saving lots of money, uh, and it's right now domestically, it's not looking too good, and as a like comparing to the other blockbuster films, but it's still look thanks to China, it made the money it needed to be successful. So luckily, Bumblebee is making it's showing people that Transformers are still interesting. Thank God.
Yeah.
Um, I love Transformer Bumblebee. I hope this is a reboot. Just be mindful of other people's opinions, and also keep your hands off of Wee Woo, and we need a Wee Woo figure.
I'm pretty sure we might get one maybe in the next installment of the War for Cybertron trilogy because we already have the emergency team of Micromasters.
Yeah,
If we
where's
get
Sky Gary? Can I get Sky Gary, please?
wait,
Yes.
there's a transformer named Sky Gary.
Yes,
Yes.
he's
There's
probably one of the
actually
best performers ever.
I
well
want the
next
Sky Gary
obviously next to
figure.
Totes My Goats.
That's fair. Bots have all ridiculous names, but I think that's their gimmick.
I love them. I love them
I
so
have
much.
one. I only have one bot, and it's
Who do you have?
Fun Gus. What a boring
Oh, you
transformer.
got
I don't like Fun
that
Gus.
is weird because that was the very first one I opened up, and then Larry from Larry Arts Productions also got a bot, and that was the same one, and now you.
Yeah,
That's
I
weird how we
don't
all
like.
started out with that.
Of all the characters, I would have preferred the hockey puck, but I get the fungus. And like
I want the cannoli. I want the plop father.
I want the TV. That's all I want. And I'm not gonna buy any more of these. I just buy a blind pack because the only reason I bought them is because I needed money for my laundry for my apartment. I just needed money out, so I
Tell you
bought a
what,
blind
if I ever
pack.
get a duplicate, I'll send it your way.
Sounds good because otherwise I just have fun Gus. What a loser.
Because I'm just gonna keep getting bots. These things are fun, and they're cheap. They're
It's
cheap, little fun. I like them.
obvious question is fungus a mushroom?
He is yes, he is fungi. He has a lot of tiny mushrooms compiled into one dude.
Oh,
Yes, he's also a very
That's one thing. Also, like was a fungus is his thing is that he's the fun
and
guy.
awkward silence. The cricket
What?
chirp. I don't care.
What?
huh? What?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Did I break out here? Did I break off?
Um,
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I was just gonna say that Fungus's got thing is that he's the fun guy of the group, but all the images and promotion art of him is him freaking out like he's paranoid. Bothers me.
all right,
Small
but
things.
yeah, Bumblebee. Not personally, 8 out of 10. Just the reason why I didn't get a 10 out of 10 is that there were some cheesy things of Bumblebee that I did not like. But yeah, best Transformers movie in my opinion.
I am somewhat inclined to agree. I enjoy it.
Best movie.
Want to see more? I hope it gets better. Sorry if you keep hearing my stomach growl. I'm hungry. Um, yeah, I really hope that more from this franchise is gonna keep getting better and better. So if it doesn't, I'm gonna be a little sad. But yeah, unfortunately, that yeah. But yeah, that was Bumblebee as a whole. If you guys have not seen it already, please go to your theater, go watch it. It's a very fun, very good movie. I think everyone actually had fun with this. Peter Cullen, when he was doing Optimus, sounded a lot like he was having fun. Um, he doesn't really sound like he's having fun in the Michael Bay movies, except for like maybe the first one. But I don't know. Even then, it's just like, um, the visuals felt real, like they felt real. They did not feel cheap. Kind of like how in Revenge of the Fallen, when you see Optimus and a human, Optimus stands out like a sore thumb.
Mm.
But I feel like the
They're
visuals were
also
really
just
well
they're all
done,
just
fun.
they're also all just pretty. Like watching the first scene in theaters, it's so like gorgeous. It's so spick and
It's
span.
amazing. It's so good.
Like I'm waiting.
Okay,
I can't wait for it to come out and like digitally so I can watch the scenes in like
Hold
actual
up.
HD.
got to one thing though that I'm actually really impressed with
Hmm.
is that I the Bumblebee movie is visually amazing, and it's even more amazing that the fact that like this is a different studio handling the CGI. Like I think this is just, like the studio's first time handling like big blockbuster CGI like this, and their first outing. I'm just gonna say is beautiful.
Wait, I'm pretty sure it's still ILM though.
I heard it from somewhere that's a different studio.
Ah, yeah. I wouldn't think. I don't know any other like studio that would take on Transformers. Like it's obviously not Leica. But if it is some different studio, then yeah, they did a great job.
I love the Igor jokes in the chat.
Alrighty, TFA, are you there still?
Yeah, the mother needed me.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Like I said, sorry if you guys heard my stomach. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. But yeah, so that was Bumblebee. That's our thoughts on it. Like I said, I really hope for more. I really hope it continues to get better from here on out. I really hope someday we get a sequel to TLK though. But if not, I'm just going by the mentality of the Autobots leaving the Earth and Cybertron living next to each other and them helping each other out and such while Megatron's off doing God knows what. Maybe Transformers priming the whole thing.
And then Unicron blows up out of the Earth, and then Cybertron fills the hole, and then till all are one. Totally, that's what would happen. I would hope. At least I would hope that would be.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that's the ending. If you ignore the after credit scene, it's okay. The story's told. That's just my opinion. So, yeah.
Let's move on to that next topic.
What?
Oh, no, go on. You're good. Segue.
No, I was just going to say, before we continue on to our next little bit of part, we talked about BotBots just a little bit, and it was recently confirmed on January 13th, 2019 at 11:29 a.m. by Black Convoy. We're getting 2 more tribes for Transformers BotBots. According to the Australian Hasbro product page, we're getting the Bakery Bites and the Lawn League. I don't know when this comes out, but I kind of want to get these. They some of them look cool.
The Lawn League.
Yeah, like lawn care.
The Bakery Bites. I feel like aren't there already enough food Transformers, and you're doing another food team?
Well, there's the Sugar Shocks, and then the Greaser Gang. And now
the Greaser
so,
Gang.
It makes sense. It goes from baked goods to fast food to sugary stuff.
Okay. BotBots aren't my thing, but I'm sorry, the names are ridiculous. The lawn team or whatever.
The whole thing is they're not Autobots or Decepticons. They're just tribes, and they cause a bunch of mischief inside the mall.
Yeah, it's like the Ridge of Fallen kitchen scene, but times 1,000 in an entire mall complex. Which, speaking of which, that's another thing in the Bumblebee movie that quick that they didn't do. They were supposed to do that exact same scene again. Only that's why Bumblebee's eyes are green, because he was supposed to transfer Energon to other devices.
So it's confirmed that Energon is green in this universe?
I don't know. I think it was just they also apparently there's a scene where in the movie where the scene where the mom's she even the dad's she even cut the cord, but it was supposed to be one of the devices cut the cord to get loose so he can roam free in the kitchen. One of the little dudes. But that scene kept
there was the TV that was shown that had the really weird it had those lips from a TV commercial, and it looked weird. But I would have liked to see the appliance cons return because it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do it because I was gonna say that's been done already.
See,
for sure.
Unlike you, Cyborg, I want to see the return of the greatest character of Revenge of the Fallen of all time, Dickbot the Blender Guy.
Yes, prequel version of Dickbot, please.
Yes, someone out there make that happen, fan arted or something, please.
Is anyone else excited for Leader Class Igor?
Oh yeah, the Leader Class. You have to sure.
Long haul head. He turns into just another long haul head.
Yeah. Man, I love that Leader Class Igor figure, but it comes with a bunch of extra crap that I don't want.
Hey, now wait a minute! Don't you dare talk bad about Darker Moon Megatron. He's the best. Fucking love that Megatron. Anyway, that's all I want to say.
Speaking of Megatron.
Wait, what?
Speaking of Megatron, Segway says.
Oh, okay. Which one are we talking about here?
We're talking about the next segment of a really awesome figure.
Megatron. Yeah, I was about to get into that. Then I got distracted for a second. I don't know why. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Megatron, movie masterpiece. 2007 Megatron and Jazz have been revealed this Saturday at, I believe, Tokyo Toy Fair, Hong Kong Toy Fair, or something like that. I am super happy with how well it turned out. I'm not going to show pictures because unless someone else wants to screen share. Which I don't think is possible because I'm using my dad's PC and I can't be in the living room because the TV one. So, but I am super happy right now because I have wanted a 2007 Megatron for so long. I've had the Leader class, I had the Voyager class, but this one tops both of those combined, and I am.
All right. Who do you guys need me to screen share?
Yeah, if you can. Yes.
That's
Start out, not that image, not yet. But let's go to a full body shot of Megatron.
here he is.
I do this. Wait, will that work?
All
No.
you have to do is click on my screen.
That's what I'm trying to do, but it should work. But anyway, if you can't see this, follow along on TFW 2005. But here is Studio Series, or not Studio Series, sorry, Movie Masterpiece Megatron. I want to call this Studio Series though, because it looks like it would be in that. Now the price for him has been revealed. He's supposed to be 150, unfortunately, but
That ain't that bad in my opinion.
no, but for me that's gonna hurt, especially with Omega Supreme coming out this year and all the other good shit. So I'm gonna have to save my money. He looks really good. Like I will await a video review first. I want to see how he stands next to ROTF Voyager Megatron, despite the fact he's gonna be a little bigger than movie Optimus. I'd be fine with it honestly, but I want to see if this will actually be well in scale with the Studio Series stuff.
I'm more concerned about.
I don't know about that. Like, let's say, okay, does the MPM Optimus Prime, is he bigger than the other?
Yes.
Then I think Megatron will be even bigger because if they're keeping the accuracy, Megatron is hella taller than Optimus, so he's gonna be a big boy.
Either way,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna get
gonna
this,
be
and I'm just
huge.
gonna use this as my Studio Series 07 Megatron until they make a legit one, because this thing looks like something out of Studio Series. But I
have
the way this turned out.
I have the movie masterpiece one and movie masterpiece Optimus, and this will look great right next to my movie masterpiece Optimus.
No, I agree. Like, it's gonna look beautiful. I have Bumblebee, thanks to you, Cyborg Raptor. I still need to get Barricade and Ironhide somehow. Kind of mainly want Barricade though. Ironhide maybe, but no, not right now. Get on the aftermarket, but this Megatron, like I said, it looks like something out of Studio Series. It looks really freaking good. The robot mode looks gorgeous. Takes everything great about the 2007 leader mold and just like doubles it. It does have a couple gimmicks as well.
Let me try and find. Hey, look!
So he comes with the All Spark, and you can recreate that famous scene where a human killed. What the heck?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just checking if people can see. There I am.
That's fine. But we can recreate the famous scene where Megatron is killed by Sam. Well, I just realized Sam killed 2 Decepticons in the whole movie verse. Technically 3 if you think about it. That little Insecticon. But he killed Megatron and Starscream.
He killed the 2 biggest baddies.
I just realized that after all these years. Wow, Sam is, jeez. Anyway, so he comes with the Allspark. You can take off his chest piece and you can put the Allspark in there to recreate that famous scene. He also comes with his fusion cannon, even though it's very wrongly placed in this, and not this image, but the next one where he like slams his hands to, yeah. Oh no, not that one either. Well, whatever, that one works, but it comes with his fusion cannon. It looks cool. Looks very good. Apparently, he also has guns on his shoulders, just like his Revenge of the Fallen counterpart, which I never knew. He also comes with his mace arm, or claw arm, whatever you want to call it. Looks neat.
All right. Then I want to look at Jazz because
actually vehicle mode of Megatron first, because we haven't...
Sure, we're going to keep that one. There's a vehicle mode, people.
My girlfriend said this looks like a 3-headed dragon. I can see it. But honestly, this is gorgeous. Like, they did a Cybertronian mode justice. Especially for this design.
Yeah.
So I am really happy with how well this turned out. Now we can move on to Jazz, because he's kind of important.
Yeah, he has the greatest feature that I've always been wanting.
Yes. So, Studio Series, or damn it, I keep wanting to say Studio Series. Movie masterpiece Jazz here, incredibly accurate, kind of very reminiscent of the Human Alliance Jazz and the new Studio Series Jazz, but kind of molded into one. A lot of nice detailing, beautiful colors, beautiful molding and paint and everything on him. His transformation I am unaware of, but I'm very curious on how that's going to work. He could pull off some of his classic promotional art poses.
Like that one?
Yep. He can pull off that one, which is great. And he also comes with two little additional things. He comes with Sam, who is having the Allspark, who's running, interesting, nice little human alliance. He comes with his gun, and then he also comes with a spine piece, and that is used for the greatest gimmick that Transformers fans have wanted for the longest time.
Yeah,
the bastards did it. They made him be able to split in half after all these years, and I think this is the defining point where it's like, yes, I'm getting both of these, and I don't care. I am super happy with this. I did not think they were going to do it, but they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be happy to have a character's accessory to be his spine ripped.
God,
Spine. I'm coming for your spine.
I never thought I'd see today where a Transformer, one of his accessories is him dying.
I am completely okay with this.
I am okay with this.
Yes,
too.
it
This
sucks
is
that
amazing.
Jazz died in 2007. I'm sorry, get over it. But I mean, he will be missed. But come on, man, how long have we waited for this?
It's been 12 years, guys.
I really hope we do an updated Studio Series Jazz to where they can do this. I would love to do this on Studio Series scale, but I also feel like, yeah, that might break.
Yeah. But man, I love the Studio Series Jazz, but now I'm sad because I'm gonna have to sell my Human Alliance one.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do with my Human Alliance stuff because that line died.
Movie Masterpiece is like replacing it, basically.
Very much. But I'm really happy, and I really think it was very clever of both of them, like both Hasbro and Takara, mainly Takara, really. No, Hasbro too. No, they're partnership now, so very clever for Hasbro and Takara to both release Jazz and Megatron together and also be interactive with each other, because I think that's something that Movie Masterpiece kind of lack. Like, you get Ironheart, you get Bumblebee, and you get Optimus, and they just do their own thing, but these two actually interact with each other, and there's a little bit of playability, and it looks really cool. Granted, these are like for high-end collectibles, kind of like Hot Toys, but they're also still very expensive toys, and they're made to be played with.
Yeah.
You know, if you want something to put on a shelf, get a statue. Get a 3A statue or something. But, like, this is just amazing. I'm really happy with this. And I'm pretty sure Megatron's going to be the first one I get. Somehow.
I'm gonna have to order him off a big bad toy store, and the shipping is gonna be hell.
The price is already hell. He's going for $190 on BBTS.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, my buddy Spooky D Man told me that, and I got a little upset because it's like it's stupid.
Well,
it was for him or his TF Customs. I can't remember.
At least I have the first leader one, the premium one. At least I still have that one.
You son of a bitch! I have the Frozen one. Damn it!
I had my Frozen one, but it's been there since I was a kid, and let's just say he's not doing too well.
I want the premium one. I also want the sword from Premium Optimus.
There's a premium Optimus in my comic store, and I might get him.
Damn. So yeah, again, the future of the Transformers franchise is continuing to look bright, and I'm hoping that next year, if they do more movie masterpieces, Starscream and Ratchet.
I mean, it looks like they're going to do Starscream and Ratchet.
Because those two had a scene. So did Ironhide, but still.
Dan, like, can you expand, like, I wonder how better you can make your Starscream, like that leader Starscream from the Hunt for the Decepticons line, I think, or Reveal the Shield, one of those two.
No, you were right. Hunt for the Decepticons.
Yeah, that's a pretty good Starscream. In fact, that's why isn't that like MPM 1 or MPM 2?
MPM 1.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, that's a hard Starscream to beat already. I'd be impressed if you can make that better.
Well, if we can't get Starscream, maybe Brawl or Bone Crusher. Or Blackout. I don't know. Did all the Autobots.
Let's be honest here, though.
You're still screen sharing, by the way.
Oh, I'm staring at that dress. But let's be honest here. There, like this has been happening with the Studio Series line, which is I'm not complaining at all, but it's just one weird thing I noticed. A lot of like the Studio Series like figures now, like the Barricade and the Ironhide, are just like downscaled versions of like the MPM figures. So with that Megatron, we are most likely going to get some form of like downscaled version of that, most likely.
That's what theme
Yeah,
too. But
but
yeah,
unfortunately, Jazz won't be able to split in half without breaking it.
Yeah, I'm not sad about it.
Unless you get another Jazz and you manage to break them. I don't know. I personally, I just picked up my Jazz after so long now. I haven't played with the Studio Series figures in years or a couple months, but like, it'd be cool if they did an updated Jazz where it's like, yeah, his gimmick can be he splits apart, but if not, it's like whatever.
It's not.
But
It's not. It's not 2021 now, Michael. We can't say we played with Studio Series for years yet.
that is very true. Speaking of Studio Series, there should be a lot more reveals coming up on New York Toy Fair very soon, February 16th to the 21st, I think. Or is it the 18th? I could be wrong.
Can I just talk a little bit about that leak for like Wave 7 and 8?
Oh yeah, we actually were nice segue because we were going to talk about that really briefly because we didn't really have much to say about Megatron and Jazz except hey, they're happening, so it's confirmed. Yeah, that leak is fake, all of it.
sad.
Aww. I wanted a sound
Apparently, it was
wave.
some guy on Instagram. He posted the list saying that he does some kind of toy algorithm, some kind of toy predicting algorithm, whatever that means. And he's just like, this is what would be the next waves because of when I calculated through my algorithm. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, like even if that was real, some of them are kind of like, huh, weird. Like I would never expect Hasbro to do a Transformer Studio Series Protoform Soldier.
I could see them do it.
Like I mean, like they can. You can do like just do the Proform Optimus and slap a different head on him. But like, and so like because I can see their whole goal is accuracy to the movie, and this would be the first because one of them is Voyager Transformed Bumblebee Soundwave. And as amazing as that would be, that would be the first time Studio Series does a vehicle mode that doesn't exist. So it's
He could do the Energon Igniter thing where he's like the A-Team van.
Yeah, that's what I think. If they did that, that's what it would do. But like once again, I feel like their whole goal is let's do the figures that we've tried doing before, but accurate. And so it just seems like it'd be weird. Like I can see them attempting Starscream before they do Soundwave because at least we've seen both modes of Starscream.
Yeah. And I mean, technically, even then, if you don't have them in this line, there's the War for Cybertron Siege line, which is pretty much like, hey, movie Bumblebee, but generations. So.
I want a Bumblebee Soundwave.
I mean, the one that's still up in the air right now, or the two, I should say, that are up in the air right now, is definitely Dino and Dropkick in his AMC Javelin form. Because there was a rumor a while back that Dropkick in his AMC Javelin form was going to be released and was going to be replaced by Dino, but we also got a leak that Dino was going to be part of Studio Series. So I'm not going to say anything unless Toy Fair comes around or we get some leaks early.
Yeah.
Which, knowing Studio Series, yeah, there's going to be a lot. I mean, we learned about Studio Series about a couple months prior to HasCon in 2016.
I mean, the Studio Series at this point has like a reputation for making themes seem like they're canceled, but not really.
The only thing I'm concerned about, though, if they do Dino, is are they going to have him be a sideways like car, like he going to be an Audi R8, or are they actually going to try to attempt a Ferrari?
They're gonna try a Ferrari. I mean, Stinger finally got his proper vehicle mode, and Stinger didn't get his proper vehicle mode for the longest time is because of Dino. Like just like Dino, the car wouldn't let him. The car wouldn't the car company wouldn't let him.
Ferrari did not want to be associated with anything about violence or war.
Yeah,
even if it's Transformers, it's that.
Yeah.
Stupid.
If Stinger can get his vehicle mode, so can Dino.
Like, come on, Ferrari, don't be a bunch of pussies. Yeah, I'm calling you out. What you gonna do about it? Can't do shit. I'm speaking words. I don't know. It's just, I really hope it isn't the case. I did not mind Lost Age Dino because he was just a repaint of Sideways, and that actually worked for me a little bit. But I really would like to see a Ferrari. And now that I have Farage from Alien Attack Toys, that one's great, but it needs some improvement.
It's like a mini movie masterpiece figure.
But it does work with Studio Series, which is great. For the most part.
And plus, I'm gonna be honest here. That figure is good, but I have like no attachment to Dino, so I would just like a cheaper alternative. If I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. I'm curious on what Studio Series is gonna lie next. Like, we know the Constructicons are coming. We know Cog and Shatter are out. We know we're getting an Optimus from Bumblebee, which is great.
Dude,
But,
I want that figure so bad.
no, same. I love that Optimus. The transformation looks really involved, and his vehicle mode looks like it's an actual truck. It does not look like there's any robot kibble on it. And again, vice versa. I would love to see the Wreckers. I want to see Wheeljack, Shockwave, Soundwave in both Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon mode. We already got Starscream, so I'm not going to complain too much there. I want to see a 2007 Megatron. I want to see the rest of the leader Dinobots. I mean, because if they're doing the baby Dinobots with Drift, why can't they do the rest? So, I want to see some, like, I do kind of want to see Protoform Soldiers, if that's going to be a thing. If that could be a thing, I mean. But other than that, like, there's not really much else Studio Series can really do aside from, like, rehashes of already recent characters from either Bumblebee or TLK, or go all the way back down to movie 1 through Age of Extinction.
Don't mind.
Really wanted to go that far. What?
Don't mind the clone me.
It's fine. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say other than that. I say wait until Toy Fair because it's right around the corner. Give it about like 2 weeks. We'll be getting all kinds of leaks for Siege and then War for Siege, War for Cybertron, and then we'll also be getting some leaks for Studio Series and some reveals for Cyberverse and so on and so forth. I'm most likely pretty sure they're going to talk more about Omega Supreme. They're going to talk about Season 2 of Cyberverse. And because they left on a fucking cliffhanger, and that made me mad. Pretty sure they're also going to talk about the IDW comics, which there have been some talk about recently. The art looks very reminiscent of the old IDW Transformers, but somewhat different, which I like. And when does the first issue drop? In March?
Yeah, March. Yeah, it drops in March.
Yeah, I'm curious on how that's going to go down. But yeah, other than that, I think the future of the Transformers franchise is looking bright. I think they need to back off the G1 stuff, though, a lot. I get it's what saved the franchise, but at the same time, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, people are going to lose a lot of interest, and you're just going to end up back doing Beast Wars Remastered or something. And you're just going to start the cycle all over again.
Gee.
Sooner or later, we'll have updated Armada figures. Please let that happen.
That's what I think. I think what Hasbro's going to do is that because their next step for entertainment are their other brands for once. Like their 2020 is going to be about Snake Eyes and the Micronauts. So I think they're going to just try to experiment more on their other brands. And Transformers will slow down until what they want to do with their whole IP.
As long as it doesn't stop, I'm happy. If I want to take a break, by all means, save me some money.
Yeah, please stop killing my wallet.
I mean, we kill our own wallet, so I mean, we're pretty much committing monetary homicide.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page for my wallet.
No, do not do that. That's a horrible idea.
Why?
Do what everyone else does. Start a Patreon. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all there really is to say, my fellow addicts. Really not too much to talk about. Like, again, Bumblebee movie was great. New movie masterpieces look beautiful. IDW comics seem like they're going to be making a good turnaround. New Bot League, so now we no longer have 8 tribes. We have 10 tribes. We got the Bakery Bites and the Lawn League, so that's going to be interesting. Toy Fair is coming right around the corner, and I can guarantee you there will be an episode on that day, and that will be most likely a bonus TFTC because we're going to talk about another topic next month. And yeah, regularly scheduled content every single month. So stay tuned. There's all kinds of good stuff. First video drops tomorrow. And yeah.
I got a question. Have you have you seen the official plot synopsis for the new comics?
Isn't it about like Bumblebee and Windblade or something?
Yeah.
Weird. Where did I see that before?
Well, I
Hold on.
mean, the official plot synopsis, I mean, I'm going to talk about it a little bit real quick before we end it,
Go ahead.
is that at this point, the new comics is basing around Cybertron. It's the typical beginning. I think they didn't explicitly mention the primes, but it kind of alludes to the primes. So yeah. But at this point, Cybertron, like at this point, has been so peaceful to the point where like a murder or a crime hasn't happened for literally millions of years. But then, but then, uh, but then a Cybertronian
All
actually
that
does get,
saves when the Decepticons attacked.
but actually no, because Cybertronian did get murdered, and the entire planet is like is so shooken up by it that Prowl and fucking Chromia team up and they try and find the killer. That's all I can remember from the first comic plot synopsis.
And now we return to another episode of Transformers Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh God.
That sounds somewhat interesting. I'm curious, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the comics. I always love the comics. I hope this one, really hope this one's is just as good, if not maybe a little better than More Than Meets the Eye / pre-old IDW. So really hoping, but we'll see. But anyway, Cyborg, you want to say any thoughts on the recent stuff? Botbots, the movie masterpiece?
I'm not a fan of bot but I do. The NPM was really awesome. I'm glad they're doing a Justice of Megatron. I also think that they're going to go with the more like have this figure be made, and then later on they'll make a Studio Series figure of it. Uh, yeah, I can't wait for IDW comics. I'm really excited to see a new story. So yeah, that's all I got here.
Alrighty. Transformers Productions. Anything about anything else?
The
I mean, keep saying
future.
what you're gonna say, but hold on.
Ow. But the future for the Transformers franchise seems bright. I'm actually really looking forward to the new IDW comics because at least this time I can actually keep up with them. Um, yeah, figures, new movie masterpieces look great. Really hyped for it. Bumblebee was great. Hoping for a reboot, and yeah, everything's all good. I'm hyped.
The future of the Transformers franchise does indeed look very bright, and I hope that's how it's going to be for many ages to come. If not, I hope they understand they just got to take a little break and figure out new ideas to try because, like I said, they keep doing G1 stuff. It's going to get really dry really fast. So, but I think that's pretty much all there is to say, my fellow addicts. So this has been the Transformers Thought Corner episode number 69 on the Transformers Bumblebee movie discussion and a little more. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Before I continue, though, let's go ahead and have other people sign up before I do my outro. So, Transformers Productions.
My name's Transformers Productions. I'm actually working on stop motions for once. I'm gonna stop with the live streams because they're getting old. And stay tuned. And yeah.
Nice. Cyborg, you want to go ahead and sign yourself out, buddy?
Yeah, hey, it's me, Matt the Cyber Raptor, co-admin this channel. I'm in a project that's coming out somewhere in February. It's a Transformers project, and I'm singing in it. So I can't wait for it to be really stupid. Other than that, I got nothing else. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Oh wait, is it the thing by our one mutual friend that's supposed to be out soon?
What?
Is it the project that I'm also in as well, or is this something else?
This is something else. This is something entirely different.
Oh, you got casted on yourself, buddy.
I'm playing Megatron and Bumblebee, and I'm singing. There's no talking involved.
I want more information on this after the show.
Sounds good.
Of course, none of this would be possible without you, my fellow addicts. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you all for chatting with me, even if some of you are just here to listen to my voice and the rest of the guests' voices. That's just appreciative as much. As long as you click, you watch, or you listen, it is appreciative. So thank you very much for that. Special shout out to everybody in the comment section, including one that I missed, Grimlock the Destroyer. Thank you very much for tuning in. TF Customs as well. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Thank you guys for being very respectful, very appropriate, and very patient in the comment section. I'm glad that you guys were having some fun in the comments, reading everything now to see that you guys were talking a lot about Igor and Quintessa and a bunch of other stuff. So, you guys are having your fun and you're being respectful towards one another. So thank you very much for that. The next TFTC is not going to happen until Toy Fair, which is going to be our 70th episode. So stay tuned for that. February 16th at about 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, which is most likely a different time for you guys. So stay tuned. Also, head over to the channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. my time for a brand new TFA reviews. It's 16 minutes long as opposed to the 18-minute long version. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. I'm going to try and get back into stop motion. Some TFA tests might be a thing. Maybe some with some Energon figures, with some more for Cybertron Siege stuff, some basic walking, running, that type of animation. I actually have to work on that because I don't know how to do that with a figure. Kind of sad. I know how to do it personally. I just don't know how to animate it with a figure, so I'm going to figure out how to do that. More TFA plays are going to be on the way. Definitely going to try and do some GTA, obviously. But we're also going to try and do some Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zetsubo no Shima, because I'm still desperately trying to get to the spider boss. Because I want to get to it, and I got close, and I keep dying. And it just kind of sucks. So if you guys have any tips for that, there's an Instagram post that I made, Arachnophobes Beware. But please, if you have any tips on how to get it, comment down in that comment section down below. It'd be greatly appreciated.
I'll make sure to avoid that.
Also, more bot reviews, more War for Cybertron Siege reviews, more Studio Series, all that fun stuff. Stay tuned. And also this month, I think it's going to be the official debut of the Throwback Thursday review with Old Man TFA. No transformations are going to be in those videos, by the way, because those figures have been reviewed multiple times. So I'm just going to cut to robot mode and go from there. No stop motion transformations either. I'm too old for that crap. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. And please remember, my fellow addicts, if you haven't already, you know what to do. And also, feel free to check the link in the description down below for you to become a super TF addict by heading over to patreon.com/TFA1024 for $1 a month. You can become a super TF addict, what gets you in the very beginning and the very end of my most recent video that I actually make as opposed to live stream because I can't. But I'll also do like pinned comments to thank you guys in the video that if you do donate, regardless. So thank you guys very much. And shout out to my very first patron, which will be included in the next upcoming video. But now with all that out of the way, please remember, my fellow addicts, until next time, to get addicted, stay addicted, and TF addicts for life! This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, rolling out till all are one.
See ya.
Bye.
That